What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Gear Up the Huddle. I'm Edwin, here with my brothers George, Angel, and Raul, and this is where sports meets real conversation. No hot takes just for clicks. We're talking real opinions, real debates, and everything happening across the sports world. Let's huddle up.
So the reason behind this podcast, the idea came from Edwin had invited me to his own podcast that he has where he talks about like sports and stuff like that. So I remember when I was done, I went into the room and Angie had asked me, how was it? And I'm thinking like, why are you asking me that? You don't even really like sports and nothing. But anyways, I guess she wanted to know the experience. So I'm like, it was pretty cool, it was pretty dope. And right there, it was halftime for I think the second or first or second game of the Lakers in OKC. And I saw Charles, Ernie, Kenny, and Shaq. And I'm like, man, this gotta be telling me something. So I was like, yo, this is perfect for us to do something like this. We ain't no fucking big timers. We ain't no well, George played semi-professional, so he was affiliated with the Memphis Grizzlies. So he probably the only one that was close enough to that part. And Angel has played ball and elites tournament as well. But for me, it was like, damn, this is pretty cool. We can get four guys who may not be at the professional level or retirees, right? And do something like that, so that we can give people some good conversations. So the next day I hit up Edwin and I'm like, yo, that was super dope what we did yesterday. Look at the feedback from people commenting. Just a little clip that you put, bro. It'll be dope if we can get a four of us. And I gave him that same exact thing. Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, and Charles. We could be something like that, something similar. He was like, "Yeah, that's dope. That's dope." So I was like, "Yo, I got two guys in mind. I don't know if you know anybody." Right? I was basically telling E from the beginning, like, "Yo, it's gonna be us four, basically." But anyways, I was like, "Yo, I don't know if you got anybody in mind, but bro, for me, like." Angel and Big George, bro, and then you and me. I feel like these guys aren't biased, right? They can be a fan of a player, they can be a fan of a team, but they're not gonna be biased in the sense of not giving their flowers to a player that's an opposing or rival team just because they're from that team. Because there's people like that, right? For that are fans of one team but can never admit that the other player or the other team was pretty good just because that's not who they root for. So I was like, these guys are not gonna be like that. These guys are gonna bring, no filter, no flub, just conversations. They're gonna do what they gotta do. It's never gonna be scripted. And that's what the idea came from. And these are the four guys. We are the four guys that I feel we're gonna have the chemistry to do this. And I'm excited for it. So this is Gear Up, right? The Huddle. If you guys don't get it yet, Gear, the way it's spelled, Gear, G for George, E for Edwin, A for Angel, and R for me, right? So that's another idea that came in. And then the huddle, right? Think about the huddle after the game, during the game, there's always huddles. And that's what we're doing now to have these conversations. We're basically on a huddle. And if you look at the picture, the logo, you got the mic, the four chairs, like we're in a locker room, like a huddle scene, just the whole concept and stuff was dope. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited for the people that are gonna tune in, and I'm excited to hear feedbacks and just share the platform with my brothers from another mother. So, but that's the idea of how this whole thing sparked up.
Yep. And I'm
Let's do
glad
it,
like
bro.
us four right now. So let's huddle up.
Let's
What do you
huddle
want?
Let's
up.
do it.
What do you want to talk about?
So first, so that everybody obviously knows, is an introduction episode. We're gonna talk some sports, but people got to know who we are, like how we became sports fans. Like, how am I a Laker fan? How is George a Eagles fan? How is Angel a Knicks fan? How is Edwin a Mets fan? Like, still don't understand that part. But how is Edwin
Very
a
few
Mets
of us
fan?
left, man. We're not having a good year, but
So
Yeah.
and so the listeners want to know um like a little bit about us when it comes to that. Like since I already started, I'll break the ice. I grew up playing baseball. My father played minor league baseball, almost made it to the pros. Didn't get the call, but he played minor league. Me being his first son, obviously, I'm supposed to be the next one up. So I've been playing baseball since I was little. So baseball has always been the sport I fell in love with. That's the first sport, right? Growing up in a household, my mom is actually a Mets fan. My little brother is actually a Mets fan. My brother Raymond is a Yankee fan. I'm a Yankee fan, and my father, who is friends with Manny, has always rooted for Cleveland, but he's a Boston fan. So when Manny went to Boston, forget about it, right? But the team that I ended up being a Yankee fan because one, from the Bronx, right? South Bronx, 161st Street is where the Yankee Stadium is at. That jersey, the pinstripe is clean. You can't lie like it's not clean, bro. It is a clean jersey. The logo is clean. You get what I'm saying? Regardless of people saying it's plain, it's clean. That's why you don't see the Yankees creating this City Connect jersey. All right? You ain't gonna see the Yankees doing that, mierda.
Uh,
Anyways,
um,
it's
I
clean, right? It's baseball. You think Yankees, you think baseball. I'm sorry, it ain't the Mets, but you think Yankees, you think baseball, you think of the Yankees. So I became a Yankee fan. When it came to basketball, I got into basketball a little bit later. I wasn't raised to watch basketball, but I got into a little bit later. And I remember my dad used to watch basketball. I wouldn't say he was a fan, but he knows who these guys were and stuff like that. He watched, and I remember the first time I ever watched basketball, it was Orlando Magic's, and I know this because I went back, right? I did history. Orlando Magic versus Houston in the finals. At the moment, I didn't know what the finals were, none of that. But it was Hakeem versus Shaq. I didn't know who these guys were. Fast forward to when I actually started getting into basketball. When I did, Shaq had just got to the Lakers. So when I saw and remember, oh, Shaq, this is the dude I saw when I saw basketball the first time. Whoa, this jersey, purple and gold. I was like, whoa, this looks nice. The arena looks nice. That's how I became a Laker fan, right? And then obviously down the line, Kobe Bryant came in. I became a Laker fan probably around the same time Kobe got drafted, 97, around there, right? Kobe didn't really become Kobe till like 99 because he had like rookie year wasn't that great. 98 missed those big shots versus Utah. Again, this is history. I did research after I became a fan. And my era of growing up watching basketball is the Tim Duncans, the Patrick Ewings, the Miami Brawls and Knicks Brawls, right? Fucking Charlotte being good at that time. The Hornets, like they were good at that time, right? And then the Lakers, you got Kobe and Shaq repeating Detroit, Allen Iverson. That was my era of ball. And then you got LeBron coming in, Chris Bosh, and all of that. But that's another story. And then when it comes to football, I also became a fan of football later on. I never really played football. My brothers played football. Giants and Jets fans. My friends played football. So I used to watch my friends in the street play football in the street, like pushing each other in cars and shit like that. And I remember when I used to play, I used to be scared to catch the ball. But I remember watching Randy Moss, who was my favorite football player, right? I wasn't a Vikings fan, but I was a Randy Moss fan. So watching Randy, I used to get that confidence of, oh, I could play this sport in the street. Watch me tomorrow when we play. And obviously, again, I used to be scared to catch the ball, scared to get hit. But how I became an Eagles fan is even more interesting, right? So as you guys know, once I got into basketball, I kind of like shied away from playing baseball. Still love baseball, but shied away from playing the sport of baseball. And I got into basketball and I focused a lot on basketball. So I can't remember exactly when, but I remember playing Dreamcast, the football game that was for Dreamcast. And again, like I said, I used to play with the Vikings because of Randy Moss, and my neighbor who had the Dreamcast, because we didn't have the Dreamcast at the time, we had, I think, 64 at Genesis, and he had Dreamcast. So he used to play with the Eagles, right? Donovan McNabb being the quarterback, he used to pick him because he can run. At those times, you had the Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, Michael Vick. These guys ran with the ball, right? So it's funny, right? You got because my detail to story is crazy, bro. So Donovan McNabb. So I remember watching on ESPN that Donovan McNabb, there was like Syracuse was like practicing in the background or something. He was playing basketball, Donovan McNabb, and he can actually ball, like play, like he can play basketball, but he chose football. So I remember, wait, this is the guy from the game. And then and then Madden came out, I think right after that, with him on the cover. And that's
mm,
how I became an Eagles fan. Oh shit! And that's how, and that's how I became. Hey, no fluff, man, no filter. And that's how I became an Eagles
Mic drop.
right? And that's how I became an Eagles fan. So that's my story, and so the listeners know where I come from when it gets to the teams that I like and stuff like that. I guess I'll pass it on to George.
That's just a lot. That's just a lot.
That was a lot to unpack.
That
If
was a
you could
lot.
unpack a whole
Like,
episode based on
like
that.
being a New Yorker and having all these, that's just a lot, bro.
I know because you got New York.
I'm just New York all the way through and through, bro. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a Giant fan.
Yeah, but that's not telling us anything.
You know
That's
what's
telling us
crazy?
Nothing.
It's just so born and raised in New York City. Growing up, right? I got into just being Dominican. You get into baseball. You just get into baseball first. That's just like it's the rite of passage. It's the first thing that's happening in a Hispanic household, especially in a Dominican household.
Dominican, and you know what's crazy too that I just learned? Even Puerto Ricans we know, but Cubans too. Baseball is like the first.
Yeah,
thing
like it's just the one thing that has to happen, right? And by the time I really like started like learning and like getting involved with sports, that was during the greatest years of baseball, with the Yankees just going back to back to back.
Yeah,
Like
sir.
you,
Not the
like
Mets, the Yankees.
like I was not definitely not the Mets. I remember vividly, and I was having. It's so funny that
Never the
this
Mets.
was even brought. Never the Mets, bro. But it was. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, you remember being a little kid and we would go downstairs, in front of the building. And this one when times were just better and everybody was just outside. Like, and it was all love. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm outside in the Heights, riding my little bike up and down on the street, from corner to corner because mommy could see me either which way, and then just being outside there, you got the guys, listening to the game on the radio. You had the one family that you was really cool with that lived on the first floor and they would flip the TV over so the people outside could see the game. Like this just real New York Times down the block. Homie's got the hydrant open. Like it's just real.
Yeah, George don't know about that. George from Florida, he don't know about that.
He don't even know. I don't know if you ever seen a hydrant, but.
Hold on. I went to school in New York, so I've seen all of this.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did go to
I
school
lived in New
New
York for 2.5 years.
In Riverdale.
I found out how suspect New York could be. No, I'm kidding.
But no, man, just experiencing that, like it automatically just gave me a love for the Yankees, right? And in the process of that too, like I started playing basketball when I was really young. Like I was probably about 4 or 5 years old when I started playing basketball. And I just remember, man, like, I don't know. And y'all can remember this. I just remember one time seeing some kids with the old school starter jackets.
Tough.
And it was, and that orange, white, and blue, it just to this day,
I had the Laker one in white. I had the Laker one in white when they came out white with the white.
Like those starter jackets, bro.
I had the pants too.
Fire with the scut. Dog, that's a whole episode within itself.
I used to go to school with that shit on, the warm-up stuff. I used to go to school with that.
But seeing that, you know what I mean? And then it's just like, and then like really getting into like playoff basketball. Like playoff basketball, because you got to remember too, like, growing up in the city, like I'm pretty sure we all had it. We had the black box. Well, before the black box,
the red button
was even a thing with the red button in the back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like before that, it was just really real. Get the antennas right, and you lucky you had a few channels, and one of the channels was always NBC.
Yeah, Knicks.
So when it was time for the Knicks and playoff basketball, dog, like, oh my God, man.
And the Lakers were always on TV too. For me living in New York, the Lakers were always on TV.
The Lakers, they were always on TV.
Yep.
But for me, just like, just the Knicks, bro. Like just see, and then seeing the Garden, and then that wood floor with the royal blue and the orange.
I
Dog,
ain't
it
gonna
was
lie, man.
over.
The garden is beautiful. I ain't gonna
It
lie.
was
That's the
over. It
Mecca.
was over, man.
Mhm.
And then you talk about the Giants. So what really got me into football, y'all probably gonna laugh at this, bro, because I think it's hilarious. What really got me into football, y'all remember the joint, the movie, The Replacements?
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
With shit
yeah,
with my man Falco.
yeah. Oh, so
Yo,
that's what got you into football. I would have thought you would have
that's
said
what
Little Giants or some
That's
shit.
what I thought you were going
no,
with the Little Giants.
Yeah,
Man.
Little Giants.
no, dog.
The
So
replacement. So you
the re-
you got into football a little late.
no, so I got into football because you also got to remember too, because yeah, like you older than me, bro.
Oh, that's right.
So
I'm like 10 years older than you. That's right.
so so the replacements for me was 5th grade.
Mm.
So the replacements for me was that was 99, 2000. Yeah, 2000.
Shit, I was in
So
high school already.
Hey, yeah.
you probably
Softball.
graduated. At that-
Probably had kids already,
You
I
too.
probably
graduated
had
in
kids
04.
at
I
that
graduated
point,
in
dog.
04. I graduated in 04. Check.
Dog, but I was in 5th grade and I just remember seeing the movie, and then I was like, so me and my little homies, like after school, we would go to the park, we would go to Jailhood Wright Park right across the street from my elementary school. And we would just it just started with playing Kill the Man with the Ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if y'all ever played that, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you got one dude throwing it to a group of dudes, one dude catch it, you got to run. And like that was my first introduction to hood tackle football.
Okay.
Like no equipment, no nothing, just like running from dudes. And you're not even running on a field. You running on like some grass. I got rocks over here, some crack pipes over there, some joints over here, some glass. Like you running all over bunch of different stuff, dog.
Right.
And from there, what we would start to do, because like again, times were just better. Because I think about it now, right? My father at 3, like I'm not allowing my kids to go to anywhere without me, but I was really outside with my friends, bro.
That's how we grew up, bro.
That's how we grew up. And once I was just like playing outside with my friends, then I started to like, oh, okay, you live on this block, you live on that block, you live on that block. So me and my friends live on this block. Why don't we play football against you and your friends and that block?
Yeah.
And before you know it, dog, it was just like it was 175 versus 178, and it was just block versus block. And then before you know it, oh, you went to school here? Oh, my man, but he live in Vermilion. He live up in Dykeman. All right, so it's Dykeman versus the Heights, and that was, you know what I'm saying? And that was just it, man. And New York just being, because one thing I've always gravitated to was also like, and y'all gonna laugh at this, just like winning teams. Like I wasn't gonna be a Jet fan. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna be a Met fan. Like I just, so I went with the Giants. You know what I mean? and one player, like a couple players that I really loved.
Somebody hold up. Somebody needs to clip that. I just gravitate towards winning teams.
Oh, I got you.
Done. That's it.
Clip that right there. But no, man. So like one of my favorite, and I thought, yo, dog, he was probably one of the coldest white boys you ever seen out on that field. My man Jeremy Shockey. That was my boy.
Yeah,
that was
nice.
My boy,
Nasty.
dog.
He changed the game for tight ends. He changed
Hall of
the game.
Famer, man.
Changed the game. We went to the U. And then once it was that, then I really started. Now I got the cable. So now I got the, I got the channels now. So now I'm watching my Knicks, I'm watching my Yankees, watching my Giants. And dog, truth be told, bro, I haven't swayed ever since, bro. Like I've been through and true to my New York teams, man.
You're loyal to a fault, man. Good job.
I am, and the fucked up thing about it, and as y'all notice, I've exposed my children to this. So it's like my son cries when the Knicks lose, bro. Like he's just as delusional as I am. But
you did that to him. You did that
to him, bro.
No, it's a rite of passage, dog. It's a callus. It's a necessary callus for the future.
Jesus.
Okay.
Fighting adversity.
Fighting adversity.
Got to get through it, champ. Next year's the year.
That's fun. That's
always,
it.
It's always the next. It's
always next year.
Yeah, that sounds like every Dolphins fan that exists. Next year.
Next year.
All right, go ahead, George.
Man, so it's fun. I'm hearing the stories and things are coming up. And Raul, it's funny you said something earlier, and we got to talk about this as a topic later on. But two things, right? First, how you became a Lakers fan. I don't know if you guys noticed, and we could talk about it later. Shaq only became a Laker because of Alonzo Mourning.
Right.
Only because of him, and he got paid. Only reason, right? And so when I saw that story, and I actually rewatched something today about it, and I was mind blown over some change, the way he was treated, the way money was given out that day, and like he elevated the game. But Zoe was really the first one to change it, that made him go after more money. And he said, he's like, bro, his ego. But anyway, so your story about Donovan McNabb is exactly it. So 1996, 1997, Donovan McNabb is playing basketball for Syracuse under Boeheim, legendary coach, right? And back then they were nasty. Their 2-3 zone was unbeatable. And just throughout the years, it was just competitive and amazing. They were always great, always great. And I remember seeing him, and then he got drafted to the Eagles. And so when I saw him to go to the Eagles, I just fell in love. And I watched the Eagles. I remember watching the Super Bowl that they lost to the Patriots, and that was a tough loss. That was back when him and T.O. were beefing. And then he ended up getting traded years later after a Hall of Fame career to, I think it was either the I don't remember exactly, it was either the Vikings or the Redskins, or Redskins and the Vikings, something like that. And when he got traded, I said, nah, you could go, but this is the squad.
This is the squad.
I've been fighting with them. It really, you led me to the tribe, but the tribe is what I'm rocking with.
Right.
And so when he left, that was it. And man, he had a great career. I loved him, from the Brian Westbrook and Brian Dawkins, and just legendary.
Jeremiah, I mean, Trotters, bro. They have some boys.
You know what's funny is we don't have any Cowboys guys, so I'm gonna say it right now. So they they said, I saw a funny story. It said Jeremiah Trotter was with the Birds when we won the Super Bowl, right, years ago. When we went to the Super Bowl years ago too, against the Patriots. His son grew up, got drafted to the Eagles, won a Super Bowl before the Cowboys ever won.
Yeah. And that's years later.
Crazy.
That's years
crazy,
later.
bro. Crazy. And
next
so it's a
year,
lifetime of
next
pain.
Year. Next year.
For sure.
Next year.
Jerry Jones, man, all the way. So
Jerry Jones got to go. Once he's done, the Cowboys will start winning, bro.
He ain't going anywhere anytime soon, though.
Nah.
Nope. So that's how I found the Eagles, man. And people here ask me all the time, like, are you from Philly? Are you a Sixers guy too? I'm like, absolutely not. Not at all. It's it's all Birds, and I love it, man. And to this day, I live in Miami, and I still travel. I think it's been the last 2 or 3 years that I go up for a game. And I was at the game where we came back down by like 2 touchdowns against the Rams. 2 blocked field goals to win the game. I was there. Unreal.
That was last season, right?
Yeah, that was last season.
So the games at the Link are just unreal, man. And it's unbelievable.
Stadium is fire.
It's unbelievable, bro. The quality of people, the energy is like nothing I've ever felt before. And when it comes to basketball, man, you guys know I play basketball basically as long as I can remember, to be honest with you. But it's funny because my earliest memory of how I found basketball was really in my school. You know, you play sports, and I played everything from soccer, baseball, basketball, flag football. I played all of that. But I remember there was a book fair, and every year there would be a book fair at the school in the library. My mom was like, here, take a couple bucks and buy something. Supposed to buy books, and never bought books. I would always buy the posters. And those posters, I remember 3 posters I had in my room that showed me what's up. AI, Kobe, T-Mac. Those 3. Those were my guys. All right, that's exactly who I watched. That's all I cared about. So I remember watching AI and Aaron McKee and Eric Snow and all those guys. And I remember them killing. Elton Brand, right. I remember all of that. I remember T-Mac. I remember Kobe, bro, like Rick Fox and Derek Fisher and the whole, right? So I remember all that. And then my dad started getting tickets for the Heat. They got season tickets. They started taking me to the original Miami Heat Arena in downtown Miami. And that's where I started first watching. And I fell in love, not just as a fan, but now I go to the games. I'm being, like, it's being impressed upon me. Like I'm seeing this. And I remember watching Eddie Jones and Russell Butler and then the Shaqs and the D-Wades and the, Eddie House and all these crazy moments and Alonzo Mourning, right? And that's where it started coming. And it just blew my mind. So I fell in love. I started playing in school.
Don't forget Timmy.
Yeah, bro. Tim Hardaway, Dan Marley, like the guys, right? And so we started going through, kept going to games. And man, my family had season tickets forever. And I remember I've seen them ever since. The good days, the tough days, the awesome days, the championships. I've seen it all. And then that was it, bro. So I've been a fan ever since. I went on to play in high school, college, semi-pro. I ended up getting a D-League contract back in the day. It was D-League, not even the G-League. And the day I found my contract was the day I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, and I pursued my business. So that's another story for another time, bro. But I love sports. I love the ability to be passionate about something.
Yeah.
And this gives me that. And I love camaraderie and team and sports. And it embodies everything of who I am. So basketball not just was a part of who I was, but it became who I am today. And I genuinely feel, for those of you guys watching and for you all you guys, if you play, obviously you guys all played sports, the things that we learn through sports, in sports, and the ability to talk about sports, we can take into any world.
Right.
Business, basketball, entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you decide to do, those skills demand it. That's it. So I think it elevates everything, bro. So
Well, you're missing a team. How you became a Red Sox fan?
So Red Sox, man, Red Sox is a crazy one, actually. So I'm not from there. I'm not at all. I remember, this is going to be funny. So I wasn't really a Marlins fan, but my family would take me. They had season tickets. And back then, the Marlins, bro, it was cheap. It was peanuts to go. And I was interested in baseball. And since I played, it was cool. And back then, when I first started going to Marlins games, it was Josh Beckett, Dontrell Willis, Mike Lowell,
Willis,
Miguel Cabrera, all these guys.
Cabrera, AJ Burnett.
Exactly, bro. And I remember going, and it was dope. It was super fun. God damn, it takes forever, but it was dope, right? And these games were so long, and the game has just changed so much. And little by little, I started watching. And I remember Josh Beckett got traded to the Red Sox. Mike Lowell got traded to the Red Sox, and things just started shifting. And I'm like, bro, kind of like Angel, right? I just wanted to follow winners. So
Cabrera went to Detroit. The whole team discombobulated.
The whole team.
Yeah, the whole team blew up. I mean, but that's like a Marlins.
Yeah, but after they won the World Series. They won the World Series. They bounced.
Draft a good guy, go to the championship, possibly win, trade everybody, be garbage for about a decade, and then try to do it again. Right. Trade potential Hall of Famers for the garbage can. It's ridiculous. So anyway, so Josh Beckett goes and Mike Lowe goes. I follow him to the Red Sox. Around that same time, what's that movie? Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch
came out. And I was like,
Jimmy Fallon, right?
So I'm watching the Red Sox. I'm watching the Red Sox. All of a sudden, this movie comes out. I was like, yo, that's so dope. And then I fell in love with the history of it. I started playing the game on PS2, right? PS2 or PS1. I don't remember what it was. And it was the home run derbies. I had all that stuff. But I even had a Game Boy back in the day with the little cartridge. You got put it in. You play, and I built a Game Boy, and it had a home run derby. And it was Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, A-Rod, like the studs of home run hitting.
A-Rod,
and I would just play. And around, bro, all of that happened around the same time. Fell in love, and I just kind of stayed with the Red Sox and Fenway and the history behind it. I love the rivalry with the Yankees, and I said, bro. So I rocked with them. And to be real, Miami Heat and the Eagles through and through all day. I haven't even watched baseball like that. Like, I'll catch an inning, I'll watch the highlights, I like that stuff. But to be honest, the change of players almost makes me hard. It makes it hard for me to stay consistent with it because, bro, like the people I knew are completely gone, and within a year I'll remember it. Then they're all gone again, and they trade. It doesn't make sense. It's so much for me.
No, they're doing horrible. They're doing horrible this year too. Yeah. They ain't got the worst record. They didn't got the worst record in the league. The Mets do, but they're the Red Sox.
Manager, everything.
Like fourth to last almost.
Between the Red Sox, between the interchange of players, and then me having a baby, bro, my brain doesn't even know anything that you're talking about. So we're about to catch up with this podcast.
I'm just putting out the stats out there. The Red Sox started horrible, but they're not the worst team in baseball. The worst team in baseball are the Mets.
They're not.
Which is crazy.
I mean, but the Mets really, like, Edwin, we don't even know each other like that just yet, bro, but we're going to understand that you, just like Angel, are teaching adversity to your family, and you just got to fight through. Mets will eventually be...
Oh, we will.
No, but that's why...
The best in the minor leagues.
He can say it. He can say it. But, George, for you who haven't really kept up with baseball, if you see what the Mets did in the offseason, and then you see the record that they have right now, you'll be like, what the fuck is going on?
But the Mets were good a year ago or 2 years ago.
No, but the Mets are always good. They always start off good. They just can never finish. Yeah. Right? But this year, they started off horrible with the squad that they have. They got a squad, bro. A squad.
Talking about Lindor, on paper. Soto.
I'm about to say, they got Soto.
Yeah, Soto, but they're not Soto. They got Peralta, Freddie Peralta. Yeah. They got fucking this dude Roberts from Chicago. And they not doing nothing.
Bro.
Yeah, injuries, man. You know, injuries happen, unfortunately, in sports. You know,
They do.
Your turn,
so-
E.
Yeah, I'm the Mets fan. Everybody's getting that. Die hard, loyal to the core,
and the Jets fan.
and the Jets fan. So
Jesus,
obviously
life of pain.
winning isn't isn't a reason why I like my teams. So I'll break it down for you real quick. So like Angel, like Raul, Puerto Rican and Dominican, baseball's in our blood. My grandmother used to babysit a Yankees player by the name of Danny Tartable. This was like in like the early '80s and whatnot. And he would come around my grandma's house, and he used to just pick on me for whatever reason. I don't know to this day, but he would just pick on me, pick on me, pick on me. Once I got older and realized what team he was on, I was like, that's it. For the rest of my life, I will hate that team to the day I die and even in my afterlife. So I was like, all right, he's the Yankees. There has to be another team. Mets obviously are there. And it just so happened, born in 85, in 86, the Mets won. So I was able to see at least one championship in sports. Obviously the Knicks haven't won since 69 and 73.
You were alive. You were
I was
alive
born,
for
I
it.
do have proof.
You
of
were
history.
alive. You
I
didn't
was
see
alive
this
for it.
happen, bro.
My mom told me that I was shaking the crib when the Mets won. I'm just going by her word. But that's the reason why I hate the Yankees, because of Danny Tartable. And even Kenny Lofton is my favorite player. Even when Kenny Lofton went over there, I was like, that's it. Once you go to the evil empire, I can't rock with you.
Nah,
You could be
come
my
on,
favorite
bro.
player.
Kenny Lofton being your
But
favorite, you don't like him no more because he went to the Yankees?
But you
Well,
accept them. But
there's
you
certain
accept
things
them
you
when
don't
they
do.
come from the Yankees, though,
That's
with
crazy,
no problem.
bro.
There's
That's
certain
I mean,
things
bro,
you don't do.
think about it, man. If David Ortiz ever went to the Yankees,
he
Boston
was
would
close
hate
to.
him.
He was close to.
But this is what I'm saying. That's being biased, bro.
But no. Hear me out.
Okay,
So
okay.
my uncle was also, ironically, a batting coach for the Cleveland Indians and also the Florida Marlins prior to them
Okay.
going to Miami. So his name was Jose Morales. So that's where I was able to fall in love with Kenny Lofton being my favorite player. Also, I was able to, go to games, unfortunately, going to Yankee Stadium, and then also going to Shea when he was in the Florida Marlins. But I remember it was 1994. I'm sitting on the couch. O.J. Simpson, that whole trial happened. And I fell asleep. And then when I wake up, Kenny Lofton taps me on my shoulder. He's like, "Hey, kid, why are you crying?" And I was crying because John Starks went 1 for 19 in that playoffs against Houston. So it's just like, it's disappointment in my life happens a lot, for my sports teams. Mets, Jets, Knicks. Things are changing for the Knicks.
Don't even talk about it. At least you got the Mets and the Knicks, man, because the Jets, holy shit.
So it's just like, I know about, huh?
0 for 3.
Listen, I gotta stay loyal, man. I have to stay loyal. I'm Tony Yayo loyal. Like, I'm loyal to the core. No ifs, ands, or buts. But yeah, baseball has been in my blood. My uncle's been a manager, batting coach for different teams. So, every time he goes there, I'll root for the team. So I remember those 97 Marlins. I remember baby Edgar Renteria before he went to the Red Sox. As for my Knicks fandom, listen, they're the only team in New York. Even when Brooklyn or New Jersey came to Brooklyn, I still say there's only one team in New York, and that's the Knicks.
There's only one team in New York.
There's
ain't
only
no
one
goddamn
team in New
Brooklyn.
York,
Brooklyn is
bro.
from Jersey.
They gotta figure this
you
out.
got people who think different, but hey. And then for the Jets, Boomer Esiason was actually one of my favorite quarterbacks. And green is my favorite color. So I didn't see the Eagles, but I saw the Jets. I'm like, hey, number 7 is my favorite number. This guy has a green jersey.
Bro.
Yeah. You were so close to winning, dog. That's it. It was right there.
Close.
Yeah, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a Jets fan. So my love for the Mets, my love for the Jets is whatever everybody else roots for, I'm gonna root for the opposite. I want to be the underdog. I don't like going for the favorites. So, the Jets, Mets, Knicks, that's my story. Even if we're bad, I'm gonna stick with them. The Mets have turned it around. This year, no, but with the amount of money that we spent and the production that we've been getting, it's been bad. When you get people who don't play the position they're supposed to play, and you get people who are often hurt, you get these prospects. There's a whole bunch of things that go on. It's not the Mets year. I've accepted it. I'm fine with it. The good news is the Yankees. I have a son. I have 3 kids. Right, my oldest is going to be 15 in August. And the greatest thing that I could say is that he has been alive and the Yankees haven't won since he's been born. So hopefully that trend continues.
He has seen them get to the playoffs and the World Series, and he has not seen the Mets do that.
Well, the Mets were close. We actually beat 2 times. We beat the Dodgers more than the Yankees did. But hopefully that trend continues. So like I said, until the day I die, It's going to be the Mets, the Jets, and the Knicks.
Man.
Hopefully the Knicks can, break the curse and win something. Because I need to see a championship, man. And I
We're
was
on a
telling
good
Angel
path.
earlier,
We're on a
if the
good
Knicks
path,
win,
dude.
I'm going home.
Oh,
I'm
we have
flying
to.
back to New
We
York.
have to. We have to. It's
The
a must.
parade's going to be crazy. The city's going to get
It's a
shut
must.
down. It's going to be a riot. Let's
Bring in
really
the
welcome
National
This
Guard.
this could possibly be the next year. Let's see.
Oh, it is. It
Let's
is.
see.
It's gonna
One
be
step at a
tough versus
time, dog.
OKC or San Antonio, but this could be
Man,
their
I don't know,
year.
man.
One step
I
one
don't
step
know. I
at a
don't think
time.
so.
I just think they're an incomplete team compared to those other guys, bro. Not
Who,
even
the Knicks?
hating. Yeah.
I'm a Laker fan, but of course I'm a New Yorker at heart, so I'll root for New York, of course, because I mean my team is out. They got swept, but if Knicks win, they win, but it ain't gonna be no easy task, that's for sure.
OKC just looks like a different animal.
Bro, they
Yeah,
do just
but
they have mastered to manipulate the game so well, bro, and you can't even blame them.
Bro, but not even just the referees. If you think about it, bro, they are good all the way through. Like
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
waves and waves of defense and physicality and scoring, and it's hard to maintain and sustain that throughout the game. And
I've
they
never
do that,
watched
and they do it well.
I've never
and
watched them until
and
this series, and I've
and
seen how
what
good they
have
are.
the Knicks done the last 6-7 games? They've provided that same wave.
Mm-hmm.
You said 6-7 games. They
Defensively-
have 2 seasons.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
I was
But-
shocked.
The
I
Knicks
was
are nothing.
surprised
What's-
that
The
they
Knicks
but
are
it's a
one thing,
matter-
and they've been like that forever. Inconsistent.
But it's a matter
Times
of
are
what's
changing.
happening now.
Yeah.
Things are changing.
I think,
What have
to
you
be
done
honest-
for me lately? Lately, we
Yeah,
doing
you're
it.
wrong. You're wrong.
Defensively,
You're wrong.
defensively, we're in sync, which I think is probably one of the biggest things that we could be,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the defense is now allowing, like, and we know this just like as playing ball, like being ball players, bro. Like the ability, I think, and it's not something like a lot of people talk about, but I think the Knicks' ability to generate deflections are massive, bro.
Always
That
got their hands up.
wingspan, they always got their hands up. So even gee, if I'm out on the wing and you get the deflection, but you don't get the steal, and I'm able to get to that rock first, we run it.
That's why it's great that they have a
So
player
the
like Josh Hart.
deflections that we're
Josh
getting-
Hart.
Oh man,
You know what I see in their future? Let's say they make it to the finals, right? And they play
Mhm.
OKC.
I think they're making it to the finals.
Let's say they do, right? They're gonna play OKC or the Spurs, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't see the Timberwolves getting there.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
So let's say it's OKC. I just don't see Jalen Brunson being able to sustain the amount of scoring he has while also having to play that much defense, because they have to force him to play defense. I think
Wait.
that was
Well,
So, like, for
wait. He showed that though versus Maxey. He showed that versus Maxey that he can score and play defense.
but I
Right,
also
but you're
get
talking
because
about
Maxey and
all 40
SGA
minutes.
are two different. They're two different players.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think one of the biggest transition that has happened, and it's happened since that Atlanta series, right? Because just because I'm a Knicks fan, it doesn't mean I don't see things for what they are, right?
Mhm.
Like being an offensive threat is phenomenal. But when you're taking that ball out that air, when you're taking the air out of the ball for 15, 17 seconds in a shot clock, dog, like that, it becomes, and especially in the playoffs, when you're meeting a team 4, 5, 6, 7 times, right? Like it becomes very predictable. And it also,
Super.
it becomes very predictable to defend, very easy to defend. The biggest, in my opinion, the biggest transition that's happened in the Knicks offense has been playing Brunson off ball and having Cat be that point forward, point center, where especially like if you look at the last 2 matchups, right? You look at Atlanta had no bigs. So you put them, especially after game 2, game 3 in that Atlanta series, right? Knicks go down 2-1. Now they have no big. You start putting Cat at the top of the key, and now you have, they just gone. They're just cutting, setting these backdoor screens, using these flare screens, popping out to the
you're
corner.
moving the big
Like
man.
they're moving without the ball to the point where Karl Anthony Towns is averaging 8, 9, 10 assists per game as a big man.
Mhm.
And even though, like, listen, when it's crunch time, and you need your best players to pop out and show out and do. Brunson will do that, right? But the process of the game has changed when he's off the ball, because now you got OG slashing. okay, you got Mikal slashing, you got Josh Hart slashing. If not, you got now OG sitting in that corner waiting for one slash to cut. Guys get it in the middle. Now we swinging it and we getting good quality shots. So I think with the Knicks making that change, it puts it, and holy Lord, sweet baby Jesus, if he could just not foul the way he fouls.
Yeah.
But if Cat allows himself to play defense the right way and allows himself to be a part of the game, he's gonna be one of the biggest reasons why the Knicks have why they would have a puncher's chance going in against OKC.
He got to play that
So
Mitchell.
let me
he gotta
ask
play
you
that
this.
Mitchell distance.
To me, the Knicks haven't faced a team with two bigs, two solid bigs,
Yes.
right? And so this is where I see some challenges. You have the Hartenstein ex-Knick, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have him passing it to Chet.
Yes.
Who's gonna? There's gonna be somebody struggling.
So and I like that you mentioned that, because like, for example, like I feel with OG and Bridges, we were designed to compete against Boston. Right?
Mhm.
Like I
Agreed.
feel like our guards and I feel like our wings were meant to battle the guys on the East,
Mm-hmm.
right?
100%.
But I also feel like our bigs could battle with the guys on the West.
Mhm.
If that lineup goes the way that I would do it, I would go
So
with
who's
the
your other
double.
big?
I would
Mitch.
go with Robinson guarding Chet.
Robinson with Mitchell Robinson
And your
I would go.
and your
I
other
would go
big?
with
and Cat.
and Cat.
So you putting Cat at the 4, Robinson
put
at
Cat-
the 5.
You put Cat at the 4, Mitch at the 5.
Which Cat will kill
Which
at the 4
Which at this point, right? Because now you're putting Cat in his natural position.
position.
He's not a back to the
Natural position.
basket.
Yeah, I agree.
guy, right? He wants to stretch the floor, and to be honest, and this is why I was mad when we let him go. But like Hartenstein is also a great passer too. So it also, but he's
And that
more,
little floater is clutch.
yes, but he's more of a passing threat
Yeah, for sure.
Then he is of an offensive threat
Yeah.
versus Cat, where now you have a double-edged sword where you know he can hit you with the dimes, but now he
Hit
can
the three, too.
that bag, hit that three. You know, if he catches it on a rip and go, now he's attacking the basket. Like, so
That's too
I
small
feel
for
like, because then even with like I was looking at our bigs, right? So like even with bigs like Denver, you go Jokic, you go Gordon, right? You go Houston, right? You go Sengun, you go Adams, right? Like you go even with Lakers, you go Ayton, you go Roy Hachimura, like depending on the kind of lineup they want to go. Like I feel like our bigs are versatile enough, and like they balance each other well,
Mhm.
because what Cat, not that he can't, but what he doesn't do consistently, like he's not that big of a defensive threat versus a guy like Mitchell Robinson.
that.
Like
Who's
you
defense.
got to
And
worry
the other-
about
and the
him meeting you
backup.
at the
Can't go
rim.
into the paint
But you
with
know
him.
what?
The backup,
I don't
the
disagree. I
backup,
don't
the
disagree with you,
backup.
but you know what?
The backup
These-
from Germany. He's good
Oh,
too.
Hug Porty.
Yeah,
Shout out Hug
Porty.
Porty.
Do you
Good
see
defensive player, man.
in my head? I see. I agree with what you're saying, but I also see that Cat's emotional. Cat's not in the best shape
He's a Scorpio.
to me, right? Right. But being emotional and he's not in the best shape. OKC runs.
Mm.
Their bigs run.
We do too. We run too.
But if you get Cat does not, the Knicks do. He's always trailing back for that trailer three.
Which
Yeah,
works
right?
out for
It's
them.
not-
Which works out for them when he's
It
hitting them.
does. It does, but it doesn't work defensively when Chet's running to the rim every single time.
Right. And
When
he
Hartenstein
runs.
is running to the rim every single time.
Yep.
So if you see Cat run back and forth 94 feet 6 times, he's got his hands on his hips. He's walking around. He's huffing and puffing. So that shot's going to be short. He's going to make fouls just because he's dead. He's exhausted. There's going to be mistakes. So then now he's out. Who's back up? Now it's Mitchell.
If you start
And then
Mitchell, he's gonna need a rest also.
But that's my
If you
point. So
start
when they
Mitchell-
go out, then what?
And then no big. No
Because
other
like
big
we
except
even
for-
so like we faced
The
a
point
situation
differential is
like
going to be
that.
crazy.
We faced a situation like that similar now in Philly, right? When Cat got in foul trouble, Mitch got in foul trouble, and
Hug
granted, Hug Porty came off the bench, and
And
it
OG
wasn't
played
the
the
most
part.
ideal situation.
He's
But
good.
you also had then guys like OG playing that 4 spot,
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you that too. Do you put OG on Chet?
Which defensively, right? Like you got to give like OG. You got to get. He's got to get his flowers because OG can guard. Like OG's one of those guys that can really guard 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm. Do you put him on Chet though? Like, let's say you go to small. Let's say you go to the regular lineup. Do you have him going against Chet knowing that he's more physical?
No.
The thing is, Chet's not trying to score.
He's
trying to be your garbage man.
Yeah, he's not trying to score.
He's trying to be your garbage man. He's going to give you 11 to 17 points just off of rim running and staying close, and they throw the oop right by the rim.
But I got somebody for him. He's a couple inches smaller, but I got somebody for him that's just like that. Hey, Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. Yeah, that's Josh Hart.
And George, and we know this. Basketball comes down to a game of possessions.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rebounding machine. And
he
does all the dirty stuff
at his
height.
Bro,
so he's going up against these bigger guys.
When Chet gets a rebound, he does one thing really well. And I wasn't a big fan of him coming in. I was like, man, he's going to get muscle. He's got no muscle. He just reminded me of like KD's type body type, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with, to me, no skill set that actually translated to the NBA game because of how physical it is. Obviously, things have changed since the 90s and 2000s, right? But he does one thing really well, and he catches the ball, and he never brings it down.
He launches that shit right away.
He uses his height. He keeps it up. As soon as he catches it, he's right back up going for the dunk, the tip in, the something. He always keeps it up. And even where he passes it from above his head. So he's not going to get ripped by these guards who are trying to come in and catch him off guard.
No.
And that's why I say somebody defensively, they got to be big because he's not going to make the mistakes bringing the ball down low. And he's long enough where they don't even reach.
Right. I've never seen OKC play until I saw them playing versus the Lakers. The motherfuckers are good.
Yeah,
great.
And the Hartenstein and Chet connection with the alley-oops, it either looks like a floater or it's an alley.
Their starters are fucking good. Their bench is fucking good. And they're playing like this without their other fucking best player on the team, the second best player on the team.
And they might have just found a diamond with AJ.
AJ Mitchell. That was a problem.
You want to laugh at something? So the Knicks had him, and we traded him.
Of course we did.
I'm like, who the fuck is this kid? What
Sounds like the
fuck
Marlins.
is going on? So here's one thing with OKC that a lot of people don't talk about enough. They average almost 30 points off of turnovers. And that alone is what killed the Lakers closing out the game every single game.
Yeah.
Because obviously I watched the games. The Lakers were always winning after the third. And in the fourth quarter, they could not close. Too many turnovers. And these dudes take advantage of the turnovers like no other. I've never seen a team average 30 points per a game in fucking turnovers. It's insane.
But they also have a great, not just they get the turnover, but they finish.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
they don't take it down, get stopped, or they like turn to bring the ball out and
and that's in transition.
They're going to the rim.
They go into the basket. Yeah, they either get fouled, they finish. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
But that dude AJ Mitchell, bro, holy shit!
And they got him cheap, bro. He's like $2.5 million for the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
yep.
Wow.
Bargain.
And defensively, they're the number one in the team, number one in the NBA defensively. OKC. It's gonna be a tough task.
It's the number one offense, number one defense.
Yeah, I do agree with, and I said this when I was the guest in Edwin's podcast. I did say the Knicks would be better with Jalen Brunson off the ball, especially in clutch situations. He's your clutch guy. Don't have him bring him the ball. Jalen is great, but the dude holds the ball too goddamn long. Yeah. Like, you don't see nobody. Everybody's stagnant when he has the ball. Now that he's playing off it, you see the screens with all ball. People are running like Angel was sharing. I've never seen the Knicks play like that until they made that adjustment. And it's what got them to where they are right now. And they got to keep playing like that. But it's going to be tough versus either San Antonio or OKC.
San Antonio is a whole other animal because it's Wemby.
And they're the only team. They're the only team that swept.
We're the only team that beat them. And we're the only team.
You guys are the only team that beat San Antonio. And San Antonio is the only team that swept OKC.
Hold up. But there's one thing that nobody's realizing.
Yeah, playoff.
He's not in the limelight, but Pop is now involved. And he's watching, and you've given him 7 games.
San Antonio's playoff team is a playoff team. San Antonio makes the playoffs. That's all they need.
But you have a legendary coach ready to game plan for your scheme 7 games.
But I also think
that matters.
I think, and and we kind of just saw this, during the week with Wemby's elbow to Nas Reed,
Should have been
right?
suspended.
There's a
Should have
level,
definitely been
should
suspended.
have been, but there's also like San Antonio reminds me of OKC 3 years ago, like 2-3 years ago, when they starting to put the pieces together and they started to make that stride, right? And to the point where it's just like youth and inexperience can go one or two ways. You could be oblivious enough to the moment where you're just in it and you're just fuck it, and I'm going 100 miles an hour and I'm playing with house money, and before you know it, you in the dance.
But that's what they did last year, OKC.
But
they were fuck it. We're just playing
Or-
ball.
or you can allow your youth and your inexperience to put you in situations where you fuck it all up. Like San Antonio, I feel like they're right on that ledge. And the way that he reacted on that Nas Reed elbow lets you know that there's still a level of growth and maturity that you need in order to get over that hump. And let me tell you something, dog. They're not far from it because San Antonio has all the pieces. San Antonio has all the pieces at every level. They have all the pieces, and like their wings and their guards, they're able, like, and again, guys, we've played sports our whole lives. Like we've guarded people up. Like the level of comfort that you can defend with, knowing that if homie get by me, I got 7'5" right here. So I could guard you.
Your best shot blocker in the league and maybe even in history in the NBA.
Yo, G, I can step up.
Yep, 100%.
I got the big fella. I'm comfortable. G, when we play together, somebody go by me, go meet him at the rim.
You can go straight out for that fast break too. Yep.
And you can go. You know what I mean? But it's just like, you just hope that, and listen, he rebounded back with that following game, 27-17. Like he rebounded back. So they're capable. You just hope that, because I listen, if they don't, clearly, I mean, Minnesota has to win. If not, it is what it is. They go home, but I think that next elevation, that next step of Wemby, and it's you're seeing the growth and the maturate, like you see it from one game to another.
To the next,
him being able to bounce back from being out, in that game, elbowing this kid and getting back into it the next game and having the kind of game that he did, like they're almost right there, bro. They're
that
almost
right there. That right there had to do with some mentoring from Tim Duncan, for sure.
Yeah.
And from Pop.
You know what?
And from
knowing
Pop.
Timmy, he might have been the one told him throw it. They get too close, throw
it. It is possible.
Probably.
It's the 90s, 2000s. You got to play physical. And that's what I was going to say, right?
So he's just lucky there's nobody like KG to slap him upside the head to do some shit like that.
But again, bro, back in the day, that was normal.
That was nothing, bro.
That
was nothing, bro.
He threw him like it was supposed to be part of the game.
Yeah.
And so, like,
even Shaq with those elbows.
The thing with Shaq was that he was so big and dominant that it ain't look like he was throwing.
He also would never throw it.
He's making
the turn with it.
Yeah.
But dog, but you get to a point too, and I like what his coach said, to a degree where it's just like, look, bro, like number one, I think we can all agree that the officiating has been very inconsistent.
Fucking horrible,
dog.
It's terrible. Like it's very inconsistent.
It's not even the word, bro. It's horrible.
Right. So now, but here's the thing. You as an official, you're there to regulate the game. You're there also to protect the players. You're there to make sure that the game is played in the right way, but part of your duties is also to protect the players. And if at some point, dog, like what's on the scouting report? This kid is this kid's he's 7'5", 125 pounds, dog.
Yeah,
hit him.
Yeah.
So you as officials, you're not oblivious to this. You know what it is.
I think that's why he got
your
physical.
job to protect, but that's why he got physical.
Yeah.
And
he had to protect
not for
himself.
nothing, and he had to protect himself. And I'm really shocked at how Minnesota responded to that after.
Yeah, I would have hit him. I would have hit him again.
yo, I would have kept hitting him.
Yeah.
Every screen, I'm blowing you up. Every screen, every time we go to the basket, I'm putting something on you.
Well, bro,
because I
this just
got
speaks
you.
to how the game has
It's
regressed.
changed. That's so
It's regressed.
soft.
Because back in the day,
The
it would have been one
nerve.
guard running in with the shoulder, going right to the groin or going right to his stomach and putting him out for the game as
Wow.
retribution. And now it was like they didn't even get into a fight after. It wasn't even a scuffle.
It wasn't even nothing.
It was
And I'm
shocking.
shocked because Jaden
Shocking.
McDaniels, I was expecting him to do something.
It's for some reason this series he almost seems like all bark. You wanted to bark at Jokic, you might get in his face, but now what? Wemby's too tall? What's going? Like it was just weird.
Joker's more
He's
scary.
catching him at the waist.
ain't no dude to play with either, though. Jokic
Nah, but
ain't.
you
But
should
he
be
let it
more
be
aggressive.
known.
I don't know
he
if you
let
got
it
to be
be
more worried
known.
about Jokic or his brothers.
That's what
The
I was going to say. It comes with a package. Joker's
Probably
got
the
a
brothers.
package too,
I
bro.
think Wemby's an only child or something.
Damn.
Nah.
It's crazy,
But-
man.
Yeah, honestly, also this shows that Minnesota, you got to get Ant-Man help. Like Randall's not it. Obviously, them losing DiVincenzo hurt.
Vincenzo,
But
that
it's
DiVincenzo
you gotta
loss
get
was
him
Big time
tough.
hurt. Big time
You
hurt.
got to get him help.
Rando
that
is
point-
not a 2 guy. He's a number 3 or 4 option. He's not the number 2.
He's not a
Oh, we
two.
know this. We know this as
You
an
know what's
I'm
England.
funny?
fully aware. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know a
Got
long
rid of
time,
him.
right? And so, you know what's funny? So I always tell my buddies this, they're like, man, Iguodala, right? Andre Iguodala, stud.
Mhm.
But I remember when he was playing with AI, right? He played on this on the Nuggets, or not the
Mhm.
Nuggets,
No,
on the
Philly,
on the
Philly,
Sixers,
Philly,
on the
06
Sixers.
On the
Philly.
Sixers.
Mhm.
So he played with the Sixers, and I remember they were good, but they could never crack the top, right? They could never get it and win it. And I remember people were just like, man, why do you think it is? I'm like, because he's not the number 2 option. He's a primary defender. He's a great floor general. He can score, but he's better as a 3 or 4 option.
Yeah.
We
He
saw
knows
that
how to
in
make
Golden State. We saw that in Golden State.
And as soon as he went to Golden State, he was the prime time piece, and Draymond was the perfect piece to go right after, right?
Yep.
And work on that, and they kind of work together. Draymond is the perfect thing too. It was a perfect situation, and it let them be Hall of Famers in their own right, in their role, not as individual players with accolades, but exactly who they needed to be for the teams that they were on.
Yeah. Freaking Julius Randle, bro. The dude thinks he's ISO Joe, man. That dude is. He thinks he's a guard.
he left New York.
So when we were talking about like things being predictable, yo, dog, he's gonna go left. It don't matter. No. It
and
don't
the thing,
matter.
It's the same thing with James Harden too. He still fucking scores.
You can see, but the offensive skill set is apples and oranges.
Oh no, for sure.
You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
But it's out there. He's only gonna go left, dog, and it's so. I know this.
The world knows.
Plays in the Lakers,
quite
plays
some
in the
time.
Knicks.
You
He's
know,
only going left.
he's
You
only.
know what it
going
is
left.
also? Angel and I were talking about this where it's like at a certain point, at a certain age, you have to understand when you're in high school, when you're in like elementary school, you're the man somewhere. At a certain point, you got to realize there's always going to be somebody better than you.
Yeah.
So it's like
Mhm.
Randall could never, in Kentucky, I believe he was the man on that team, on that Kentucky team in college. But at a certain point, it's like, all right, when you went to the Lakers, you weren't the man. Kobe was the man. Then you went to the Pelicans, Anthony
Wait,
Davis was the
Kentucky,
man.
in
And then
Kentucky, he
Anthony-
didn't play. In Kentucky, didn't he play with John Wall?
I was gonna
Nah,
say that. I think it was John Wall there.
Didn't he play with
No,
John
because
Wall?
Randall was in, I want to say it was a 2014 class. I could be wrong.
I think he played with John Wall. I think.
Well, I know
could be
Wall
wrong.
and Cousins. Wall and Cousins.
Yeah,
played
no, because it was Wall. It was
Oh,
Wall.
it-
It was
it was-
Wall.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
Boogie.
Yeah.
It was
It was
Boogie.
Boogie.
Yeah. My fault. Yes,
It was
Boogie.
Boogie. It was Boogie. It was Wall. It was what's the little brolic dude's name? I forgot. Bledsoe.
Eric
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe.
It was
Yeah,
them
yeah.
boys.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
That
yeah.
was a squad too.
Super.
That was a
But it's
squad.
like at a certain point, you got to realize like it's okay to be a number. You got to know your role. And
Yeah.
everywhere he's gone, in his head, he thinks he's a number 1, but in reality, he's a 2 or 3. When the Knicks got him, I was like, all right, you know what? We can't. You know, where else can we go? We need help, right? But then it's like then we had R.J. Barrett, another lefty who needs the ball to score, and then Brunson comes over. So we have 3 lefties who are ball dominant who need the ball to score. Somebody's
all
going to
going
take a
left,
hit, and they all go left. So they're all predictable.
and they all
You know?
going left.
So when we
Yeah,
traded him for
but-
Cat, I was so happy because, and this is a group in my group
it was a
chat,
great trade.
the argument that we have, where it's just like there's one dude who says that Randall was a better fit in New York than Cat, and again, a
Hell
lot of people like to say Cat is soft, but Cat has done more for the Knicks in these 2 years that he's been there than Randall for the entire 5. in my personal opinion.
So let me ask you this real quick. So I'm curious. I think, and I know we got to kind of segue into what we were talking about in things we wanted to talk about today, bro. And I know something that has been on my mind, and people say it all the time, and I've thought it for a long time. There's just a few. There's probably a handful, if not maybe like 10 or less guys in the league that you just can't win with because they're too emotionally unstable, right?
Okay.
They're just not, and not like mental depression and that type of stuff. Right? They're up and down. They're just that type of guy. They don't have the
John Morant.
You know what? I think he's in a bad situation with his personal life, and he doesn't know how to handle the fame and the fortune and separating those who he was with and now who like going into his new life, right? But on the flip side, I'm thinking more your KD, right? And I mean, he proved me wrong, but I believe it to be true. Your Jaylen Brown, I believe Joel Embiid, Cat, those guys are in there. I think Randall's in there. I think there's and probably a few more now. If I really think about it, that you can see them on screen or in person. You can see their faces, and you can see the moment that they break, and they are checked out. And you can't win with a guy like that. To me, Jaylen Brown is blessed beyond measure that he has Jason Tatum and a hell of a squad last year to be able to supporting cast to be able to see it. But there were games that you just see him break. He would miss a layup. He'd miss easy shots. What about gone.
What about Mikal Bridges? That motherfucker gotta be going through something.
I think he is wildly overpaid.
Brick. Talk about
picks.
brick.
We don't need those picks.
We don't think he's wildly overpaid.
But Bridges was never.
Is that a New York thing? Because he was good in Phoenix.
He was great in Phoenix.
He was great
as a number 2 option.
Phoenix.
He was great in Phoenix, as a matter of fact, yeah.
And Brooklyn.
But his thing has always like, okay, when Bridges came into the league, he wasn't looked at as an offensive specialist. He's a kid who could shoot.
Defense, yeah.
But that's all his game has always been.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of his game has been being a wing stopper, like being able to guard multiple positions. Can he stretch the floor, hit a couple shots, slash to the basket? Yeah, but he's not this overwhelmingly offensive threat, you know. But the problem is that, again, once you're playing in New York, you're playing in a really big market, all the eyes of the world are all on you. So it's like, yo, dog, if he was in Milwaukee and had a 0-point game, you think motherfucker like really cared?
No, well, you wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't even know. But he's in New York, and then you hear all the time, oh, they gave up 5 picks. The motherfucker didn't give up 5 picks for himself. Some idiot made the decision to do that.
You know what's tough though? Tell me I'm wrong, but to me, his closest comparisons to early guys that we watched are your Trevor Ariza and Thabo Sefolosha. Very similar.
Yeah.
They both to me are better scorers than Mikal Bridges. They didn't get paid as much. They weren't traded for
even Turkoglu.
Well, Turkoglu was a stud.
Turkoglu was nasty.
Hold up. He was a stud.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. He can score.
No. But he was known for offense. Sefolosha and Ariza were known for their defense on the perimeter, and they could score. But they have a better 3-ball than Mikal Bridges ever has, and he got paid more and was traded for more. So essentially, he has more worth in the NBA eyes. Obviously, different times, different situations.
Well, that's CBA, bro. That has nothing to do with those guys. There's a lot of bums
who are getting paid.
They would have got paid. Yeah. They would have been in the league now. Would have got paid for sure.
With one guy who got
55.
a crazy contract. Yeah, I get it, but I don't need Mikal Bridges to score 20. You know, be a defensive player. Get me 10 to 15. I have the scorers for that. Like, just play your role.
But he has taken.
I just feel like they paid him.
He could have.
They paid him like he's something that he's not.
Exactly.
Like he's an offensive threat when he's not. And that's what I mean.
But here's the thing, fellas. Yeah, and this is, and you get what you've earned. And when he was in Brooklyn, he played well. And somebody across the river was like, hey, you know what? I like what you did.
Right, because that's where the money. That's where
I'm
the
gonna
payment
pay you
comes
all
from.
that shit.
Right,
That's where the payment comes from.
As Knicks fans, would you have been happier keeping DiVincenzo?
Yes.
Instead of him?
But he had to go for Randall.
Sure.
Him and Randall.
No, I get. But instead of him, You flip that scenario. You keep DiVincenzo. You send Bridges. You'd be happier with that. Your team would be better.
Because now you really got another ball handler there and someone who can shoot that thing.
Yeah.
And man.
But it immediately makes you undersized, though.
It makes us undersized 1,000%. But from an offensive standpoint, it gives us more firepower.
Yeah, I agree. Takes pressure off Brunson.
I believe he has a player option for next year. I could be wrong.
Trying to get the squad back together.
He ain't coming back. If
Villanova
Jalen Brunson's father is there, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back.
They fixed that issue.
Let's see.
He ain't coming back.
They fixed
All
that
right, so
issue.
hold up. So let me ask you guys. So obviously talking about these emotionally unstable guys that, in my opinion, right? I don't know. Maybe it's not emotionally unstable. Maybe that's not the right term. But there's some guys who I don't think you can really win with on a consistent basis and see consistent production. Let's talk more what's going on and these new things going on that we see in the news. Yesterday, I think it was a 2-for-1, unfortunately, right? In prayers to their families. But Brandon Clark, John Collins.
Jason Collins.
Oh, Jason Collins. I'm sorry, Jason Collins.
John Collins is still playing ball.
John Collins, yeah, he's super. I remember. And so, how do you guys feel about what's going on with them and how that happened and how that all kind of unraveled, man? It's a shock to the NBA. One was super young, and Jason Collins was the first openly gay player in the NBA in history.
Well, I didn't even know Jason Collins had any like health issues. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They said he died from a brain tumor. That's what I was reading.
Right, yeah. He's had it for a few years now, but
for a while now,
to me that was shocking because I didn't know about it. And then when it comes to Brandon Clark, that was also like a surprise because the last thing I heard from him was the illegal issues that he's had for the past month.
He got arrested him. Yeah.
But
they were saying I was reading something about something trafficking, if I'm not mistaken. It had to do with trafficking or something that he was
Bro, it was gun possession, drug possession, gun possession, some other.
And so he took his life, man. It's tough.
Well, it was OD.
He overdosed.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But I believe when they arrested him, they let him go on bail instead of putting him into like a different program or putting him. You could have avoided it. I mean, obviously, we don't know the details like thoroughly, but there's certain things you can avoid. But it's from what I was reading, it said that he OD'd. 29, bro, is young. Like
this is, and let's go back to when I said John Morant, right? I feel like sometimes certain players, athletes, are put in certain positions where their outside life, because of where they're at, even makes it worse. Like Memphis. Is not, and I'm not trying to shit on Memphis, but Memphis is not a play. Memphis is known for certain things that we've heard, gang related shit and fucking drugs and people with guns and all this mierda that you hear on the news. And unfortunately, you see these athletes, just because they're athletes, we can assume they might not do that, but we really don't know. These guys probably have no mentoring outside of basketball, right? They have no one that's probably checking up on them emotionally. Right? Damn, that fucking lazy. They have nobody checking up on them emotionally. Right? For example, John Morant, all these issues he's have off the court comes from not having a dad figure. He has a father that's there, but his dad is enjoying the life he didn't get to enjoy when he was younger. You get what I'm saying? He's still.
His dad looks more like his boy.
Right, he's there. That's what he wants to do now.
Michael Beasley said it best a couple of weeks ago when he was like, "This is the production of having an immature father in the household."
Right. Yeah. So that Michael Beasley,
man, what a good interview!
What a great interview!
Oh, that was great.
That was probably the best interview I've seen.
And like he really only dropped bars, bro.
That was the greatest episode I've seen on Shea.
But it is the most authentic you've ever seen an athlete.
Yeah. So my thing is, like, for example, you put John Morant to play with someone like, I mean,
Miami.
Let's say, you can say Miami. You got guys that could probably mentor him, especially with Pat Riley there. Lakers in Los Angeles, you got LeBron that's still, like, there's certain positions these players could be placed in where they have a better situation outside of basketball, is what I'm trying to get at.
I think it's so important, bro, like to have a veteran in the locker room for that.
Memphis don't have that.
Yeah,
that's completely changed. But the whole league has changed.
It doesn't exist anymore. But he got old, and that was Zach. Zach was there the longest, right? Zach Randolph. He was there for.
Well, really, no.
And Conley,
Mike Conley was that guy.
And then they traded him back to Minnesota. So, but yeah, they have no veteran presence. So imagine who knows what Brandon Clark was going was going through outside of basketball, right? We already know. I mean, we didn't really know what he was going through because he wasn't as big as a star as John Morant. You get what I'm saying? But these guys don't have that mentorship, that veteran in the locker room that's probably there for them and stuff like that.
No.
But
But
put them in a different position, bro. Like a team, like even in New York, just because of the culture in New York, you'll have that supporting cast outside of
but I think
the
it's
basketball court.
also like one thing to really consider, bro, and it's just like, man, there's a couple things that in my opinion, right? Number one, money doesn't change you. It really just makes you
Does
more of
not.
who you are.
Amplify for sure.
It just
Yep.
it just highlights who you've always been,
Yep.
right? So it's now you get to a certain point where you have reached the pinnacle. You have reached the NBA, you have reached the MLB, you have reached the NFL. You have reached this high level that only 1% of people get to experience, right? I also believe there's also a lack of, just personally, my belief, a lack of maturity,
Mm-hmm.
accountability, and a large part of ego.
Mm.
We've all been like I've been in Florida now for the last 7 years. I've been in places where I've seen NBA guys come in, restaurant, things like that. Like it's very hard to look at an NBA player and for him to walk around like his shit don't stink.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where you almost feel invincible to the rest of what other people, well, how just regular life is.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get guys like the Michael Beasleys and they're real, they're real genuine and authentic in what they speak and their experiences, like fuck, like I can see that. But you can also see the trauma of that as well too, and why he made certain decisions at the time that he made them. You know what I mean? And you look at a kid like Brandon Clark, man, like who knows,
What he's doing.
how he was dealing with all this fame. Like, listen, granted, he's in Memphis, whatever the case is, but it's like you're a famous basketball player, bro. You know,
You didn't need to do any of that stuff.
You didn't need to do any of that
Right,
stuff.
right.
So it's like, but it's like, but you see it all the time, though.
I
You
mean,
see it all. You
look,
see,
look
bro.
at the players doing the
You see
the
it.
gambling.
Look at
the
Javaris
gambling.
Critton. Look at
gambling.
Javaris Critton. Like when that
That was a good
joint happened
documentary
in,
too.
yeah, when that joint happened in DC. You know what I mean? With the Wizards and the guns and the like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah.
it happening
Pride
all
and
the
ego,
time.
yeah.
Where it's just like you get to a point where you're now allowing your ego to take over.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at bro, how many guys got popped in the last couple of years doing that health scheme with Big Baby Davis going to jail. So like dudes is going to jail. You was just making M's. And now I get it. The money ain't coming in as it once used to. So now you're reverting to
And
Right.
Big Baby, and
Well, you know what you
outside
ju-
yourself.
Big Baby started
it's-
playing in the Big Three too. I don't even know why the hell he had to do that shit.
It's so crazy, bro. But the thing is, this
But
is
it
exactly
happens.
the issue.
No, yeah.
The lack of financial literacy, mentorship, leadership. These are also like
You start making poor
s-
decisions.
important. Yeah, but they just don't have it. It's not a focus.
And
You know what it
what
is also? It's the circle that they have around them. Like, look at
100%.
LeBron, right?
1,000%.
LeBron, since I want to say 17, has had that same circle of Rich Paul, Ernie Ramos.
No scandals.
No scandals whatsoever. And it's like, there's a book that 50 Cent wrote. It's called Hustle Smarter, Hustle Harder. And he says something where it's like, so many people, once you make it, there's that expectation where people are like, all right, well, you made it, so now you got to give that to me. Where's my handout? Why do I got to work hard if you got it? And not realizing like, hey, like there's certain expectation that these players have. And like Angel was saying, the egos that sometimes that takes over, where it's just like, put yourself in a situation is like, I got to feed my family. I got to make sure that people are good. I need to surround myself with people who want the better. Like you'll see eventually as time goes on, who's real, like who's there for you.
who are
Right.
doing
And
this,
the level of
like,
respect that LeBron's circle has towards him too, because they themselves who live their own life don't even get in trouble because they're friends with LeBron.
because of him.
Who you surround
And
yourself with.
that's where you see somebody like John Morant, right? Your circle's the one that got you caught.
Right.
Your boy's the one on Instagram Live getting you caught, right?
Getting you caught up.
Where's your circle? I don't think it's right to do what he did in the first place. It's definitely not right to have somebody around you who would heat up your spot.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to completely put you on blast for the world,
like
on your second round.
Like if that's
Crazy.
I'm gonna give a crazy analogy. Bro. You about to get married, B. You about to get, and you out with the homies and some shit happening. Your man's is like this.
Recording.
Do it, beloved. What you doing? Slow down.
Code, There's just certain
Slow
things
down.
broadcast.
But like you protect and this is like, you know, it was just mentioned, bro. Like when you have genuine people around you that love you and
they won't push you in that
understand
position.
your circumstances, bro.
Nah, man.
They'll check your like dog.
Check you, for sure.
Diddy in jail right now. Nobody checked him. Nobody
he
said,
also
yo,
thought he
stop
was
wilding.
invincible.
But you thought the ego.
Yeah, you talk about
The
God complex.
He's done a lot of things to people where they don't see they need to have his back, bro. If he would have been a different person, maybe. But Diddy did act like he was, you know, on top of the world, like you look walking over people and shit.
You look at Ja Morant, bro. You look at all the God-given talent in the world.
They were talking about him being the face of the league 2 years ago.
And he was, bro, you couldn't say you couldn't say he wasn't on that trajectory. He was.
No.
Yo, I coach, bro. I coach every weekend. I walk in the gyms all over the place, dog. All you see, Amari got like 7 pairs of Johns.
He got some
the
nice
kids love him. He got some dope stuff. But it's just like you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna allow your immaturity and you're gonna allow the people around you to force you to lose it all.
And the worst part is, 10 years from now, let's see. I don't know what that career looks like, and God, I'm praying for him.
Hopefully, it's long.
He figures it out. He moves on, and he finds a new crowd, and he has a Hall of Fame career. But if it doesn't happen that way, you won't remember the greatness. You'll remember the asterisk, which represents the scandal.
Yep.
And that'll shadow his entire career. And that sucks for somebody with such God-given talent.
That was also Iverson at one point too. No matter how many great things he did on the court, bro, they always try to put the shit.
He figured it out. Also, it's the people
but he had to figure it out because
you know what's funny? Look at somebody right now switching to the NFL. Look at Mike Vrabel. Look what a great job he did last year, and nobody's talking about the winning season and how great he did. They're talking about this affair.
The hotel.
And the more I watch those videos, it's crazy. The more you watch the videos, and the more you see the interactions, it was there in plain sight.
Oh, 100%, bro. And let's be honest, and this I feel like this is a whole episode on its own. little Mike Vrabel is definitely hers. Like they got to do some testing. That's real. That's a fact.
The husband's crazy because he still won. You're
not just hanging around with the pregnant girl, and that's not yours.
Yeah,
that's not real.
Taking her bonbons and stuff late at night. What you craving, baby?
So, RIP to Brandon Clark. You know, prayers to his family. Same for Jason Collins. Prayers to his family. RIP to him. We've discussed OKC, how great they are, right? They swept the Lakers. We discussed how great the Knicks are. I was surprised they swept the 76ers. I knew they would win, but I was surprised in the sweep.
I thought the Sixers would get one.
I thought so too, but
had Knicks in 5.
But there is one more important topic I feel we should discuss, and that's LeBron James, right? The GOAT, LeBron James, right?
Thank you for adding that.
41, turning 42 this year. Doesn't look like he's retiring. You know, what's next for LeBron? What is next for LeBron? I feel like LeBron, I don't think a lot of people
he would never tarnish his name like that, yo.
Yeah, people do not want to admit it. But this is gonna happen. It makes the most
Listen,
no, you'd have to give up everything.
The way LeBron is heading outside of his basketball career, I don't see him leaving the Lakers. I feel like he'll retire there. But if he does leave, I think he goes back to Cleveland.
I think he goes back
to
Cleveland.
I think he goes back to Cleveland. He retires there. I think LeBron is going to play until he's not averaging 25, 8, and 9. Like, the dude is playing better than Their dude is playing better than fucking
Then Derrick
kids.
Rose is year.
Like, it's crazy.
Bro,
bro.
he is a top 5 player still.
Of course, bro.
And mind you, and most of the season he was a third option. Just
most
to
of
be
the
clear.
season, right.
That's
When
crazy.
Luka went out, he was first, and then AR. But yeah, and I agree. I listen. This whole debate of LeBron being the GOAT, not being the GOAT, man, listen, my GOAT is Kobe Bryant. That is the player I saw in my era of basketball. When I started watching basketball, I can never say MJ is because I didn't watch MJ. When I started watching basketball, MJK was in the Wizards doing mierda at the age that LeBron is right now. Okay, so people want to talk about that. LeBron James doing what he's doing at his age, which Jordan tried to and didn't, right? And I like what Reggie Miller said because he said it best. He said these old cats who are hating on LeBron, they're just hating because they try to do it at the age he did, and they were never successful. That's why they hate on him.
Not even close to it, bro. Guys,
Bro,
you stop playing at 34, 35.
Bro, I'm sorry, but you gotta be fucking blind to not say LeBron is not the greatest fucking basketball player, bro. It's crazy. The shit.
It's the hate that people have for LeBron.
Stats, the accolades, the motherfucking career, the outside of the NBA, everything, bro. Everything. The dude is, bro. There's nothing compared to him, bro. Nothing compared to him.
Had he come out, I think if he came out of high school wearing a different number,
it'd be different.
People would have a different idea of him.
But he probably would
have came out with number 45 instead of 23, and people still would have talked shit.
But it's you go with that 23 is so like
iconic. I hate to say it,
iconic, bro. Like you can't.
Okay. So, but we can't say LeBron hasn't lived up to 23.
So much so that I was reading I don't know if this is true or confirmed, but so much so that the NBA is considering retiring fully. No more 23.
They were supposed to do that, which is why he changed it to 6. But then they unretired 6 because it was Dr. J's number, right? Oh, Bill Russell's number. Bill Russell's number, and they allowed it for LeBron to wear it. But again, LeBron hasn't tarnished those numbers.
And hold up, just say what you said again, because I think that just got missed, right? You unretired Bill Russell's number. Bill Russell's number because LeBron wanted it. Like just try to consider that thought.
Yeah, and then they didn't retire, and then they didn't retire 23 because of LeBron, because they were supposed to retire 23. That's why he changed to 6.
Mind you, Jordan's
look what he did. But then
if you guys have ever been in the Heat, if you guys ever been in the Kaseya Center or the older Miami Heat arena, you got 23 hanging in the rafters.
It's up there.
Yeah,
it's there. Jordan's up there.
You're gonna have it. You're gonna have his number up in Los Angeles too, right? They're gonna retire his numbers. They just are.
Bro, he should have 3 statues and 3 Hall of Fame careers.
Yep,
I agree. Cleveland, Miami, 100%. Lakers, bro, 100%.
All day.
Nobody has ever done it. And then I was sharing this with Edwin, right? It's like, let's get a little deeper on this, right? If we remove, right? Obviously, we can't really do that because it's happened, but we're just talking, right? We're having a conversation. If we remove Scottie Pippen, Jordan has 0 championships. Am I right or wrong?
Hold on. I'm gonna say some of this.
So glad you brought that up.
If we remove,
I don't disagree with you.
Okay. You're gonna say some other shit. If we
I don't disagree with you, but hold on. Before you even say, you gotta hear it. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. We can't really talk about this because it ain't true.
No, but it doesn't. I'm trying to give a. I'm with you,
but I can't go with
you. Shout out to the ball having aunts, bitch.
Yeah, I'm trying to show.
This generation.
I'm trying to point. I'm trying to prove something. I'm trying to prove something because at the end of the day, I agree with you. You can't remove that Jordan has 6 rings. But my point is that if there was no Scottie Pippen, Jordan doesn't have nothing.
I am so glad you brought that up.
Yes or no? Just answer the question. Yes or no?
I agree with you.
Does Jordan have a ring
earlier
without Pippen? Yes or no?
I can give you the stats right now.
0.
I don't disagree with you, but present the alternative.
All right,
he's not there. He's not there. So who is?
So hold on. Scottie Pippen not there. 0 rings. You could keep everybody else. 0 rings. It's just Scottie Pippen.
No. But who would they have brought instead of? Is my point, right?
I
What
mean-
does the alternate reality look like if they don't bring him?
Which is
I
why
mean,
they went for
remember-
him. They had Charles Oakley, and they traded Charles Oakley for Scottie Pippen.
I don't see anyone else filling in his shoes for Jordan to win rings. If it was,
I remember though they were trying to, because remember at that time too, the conversation potentially Grant Hill,
Yeah.
possibly. That would have, who knows what that would have looked
Grant
like.
Hill going
Like
to the
there's so
Bulls?
many.
No, you mean being like being the next Jordan?
Yeah, I remember
No.
that. Grant Hill,
Being the
they
next
hyped him
Jordan
up
or going
big
to the
time.
Bulls? You're
That was
talking about
injury.
being, and
Grant
same
Hill,
for
yeah.
Penny Hardaway. Same for Penny Hardaway. Same for Penny.
Penny too,
But-
but their knees,
but anyways,
their knees gave out.
just stay with me real quick, right? So no Pippen, no rings for Jordan. We can agree on that. Yes, we can. Yes or no, mofos? No Pippen, 0 rings.
Your audio went out for a second. What?
Oh, we
All
can't
I
even
heard
hear
was-
you, man.
All I heard
no
was
rings.
no Pippen, 0 rings. That's all I
No
heard.
Pippen,
I agree
0
with you.
rings, right?
I agree with you
Now-
wholeheartedly.
now-
I had this
now,
debate
well,
earlier.
let's go to
where I was
Kobe.
like,
Let's go to Kobe. You remove Shaq,
VR power,
he
man.
still has.
That's
still,
it, man.
You guys
That's it.
can't
We
hear me.
about to
No,
lose.
breaking
not,
up a
not,
little
it
bit,
goes in
fam.
and out, but you should be good.
It's
So
going
what
in
I
and
lose
out.
in
What
like
the
5
hell?
seconds, bro.
Now your
Okay.
video's going in and out too, bro. You're freezing.
No way.
No, now you're good now.
Nah,
Okay,
But
yeah, hear me,
before-
yeah, hear me,
Every
yeah,
time-
hear me,
Every
Yeah,
time you
hear me?
stop saying something important.
yeah, hear me, yeah, hear me, yeah, can hear me.
Yeah,
You're
you
good
good.
now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, you good,
So
bro.
then we got
He needed
Kobe.
Pippen.
We got Kobe, right? You
Okay.
remove Shaq, Kobe won 2. He proved that he could win without Shaq, right? Now we got LeBron. You remove the Heat, he won 1 with Cleveland. So at the end of the day, these guys will
And the
have
Lakers.
the rings. Well, he won with the Lakers, yeah.
I
I
count
mean
the
the
bubble
bubble,
ring.
but he won with the
I count
Lakers,
it.
right? So
A dub's
If-
a dub.
if you and from certain players, they have said that's probably the hardest. That was the hardest time to play ball in a bubble where you have no fans. It's the
Yeah.
same people all the time.
No
like,
family
no
either.
family,
Nothing,
nothing.
yeah.
Like there's people that say that was probably the hardest time to win a fucking championship was in the bubble, right? So my point is like Michael Jordan only won because Scottie Pippen was on the team.
We're
That's
about
the
to lose
truth,
him, folks. We're
bro.
about to lose him. We're
It's
about
a
to lose him.
fact, bro. It is a fact. But this is just a fantasy conversation, right? Just to stir some shit up. But I do agree that you can't remove the fact that that's what it was. I agree. You can't.
No.
But
Listen, I think saying he would win, he wouldn't have won any without Pippen. It's almost like
he wouldn't, bro.
kind of like it's kind of like pissing on the tombstone, right? Because you're kind of
He
saying like
wouldn't, bro.
he wasn't that great, and he was good enough to carry a team.
He was
He
not.
was, but
He was not
you
going to win
look
without
at
Pippen.
look
bro.
at the like,
not
and
winning
again,
without
the proof is in the pudding. Couldn't get past Detroit
Yeah,
until
yeah,
Pippen
you're
got
not wrong.
there.
You're not wrong.
Couldn't get
You're not
past Boston until like
Yeah,
Pippen came
it's
around.
there.
Pippen came
It's
in,
there.
changed everything. Then they went and
Like,
got
yeah.
Dennis Rodman,
Cool
who
coach.
even put more fire.
Cool coach. Yeah,
Cool coach, Steve Kerr. Then he had more of a supporting cast. But you remove Pippen from that team, bro, they don't win.
Yeah,
I just
agree.
wanna
Understood.
remind everybody. LeBron went to the finals with Donnell fucking Marshall
Bro,
And,
with
and,
no
and
one.
Delonte West.
and
With
Delonte.
no one, bro.
2 years old.
You know
I
what's
get
crazy? I
the
remember
dynasty.
I saw some crazy stat the other
Yo,
day, some
son.
reel that came up the other day, and it was like half of that team that he played with is either dead, in jail, or like bums, like some crazy.
And he's
I was like, dude,
Only
what happened to everybody?
it's crazy, bro. He listen, LeBron proved he carried it by himself. Now I get it. Granted, people's argument will be it's a different time of era of basketball. I get it, 100%. But then where you leave Kobe? Because Kobe played in both, and Kobe
you know what?
proved he could win without Shaq.
That
He proved
argument, people don't understand, bro. Like, I remember when I was playing and I was training for to play pro ball and all that, and I remember my trainer. He's an NBA guy. He was working with Joe Johnson and all these greats, and he worked with Kevin Durant and all these people, right? And I remember he's teaching me how to foul bait, right? Like, when you drive, you're gonna fully extend your arms, you're gonna reach down below your knees, then you're
Go
gonna
up.
swipe up
Mhm.
under their
Get the
arms, you're gonna
rip.
get fouled, and you
Mhm.
got to learn how to finish with contact.
Right.
So I'm teaching you how to manipulate the game to get free throws and ones, right?
Okay, see now.
So you're
Mhm.
understand, right? But now this is a whole nother level. I've never seen this. And like shy as grabbing somebody, hooking them over here, and then bringing them over here, saying what's up and shooting. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so seeing that, man, like he's a product of the game that we live in today. If you put him in the 90s, he'd be the same product of that game in that day. You'd play tougher. You'd be okay with hand checking. You'd be more physical. Like, it's fine. These conversations wouldn't exist, but like, again, we gotta live.
I don't like when
gotta live in
people
comparison.
Right. That's why I don't like when people talk about the eras, bro. If LeBron would have played in the time Jordan played, he would have been forced to be more physical.
Tell me.
The dude is fucking 6'8", 254 pounds. You don't think he was going to be physical if he would have played in that era?
LeBron's a flopper. Bro, I can give you the same argument that Jordan was the master at offensive fouls and not getting called for them.
And not getting called.
One of his most famous shots.
Just talk to Brian Russell about it.
The push.
Yeah.
Clear push.
I've never seen full extension. My man won the Heisman with that one play alone.
Right.
And then we don't talk about it.
Now again, for the listeners, I am not saying Jordan is not great, and I am not saying Jordan
he's one of the
didn't
greatest.
Change the game. Jordan is one of the greatest. Jordan changed the game. He changed
He made it global. He made it everything.
The dude changed the game. The dude was amazing. He was great. I didn't watch him live. I got the Wizards of Jordan, but he going back and seeing highlights. The dude was fucking incredible to watch. That I will never ever say he wasn't. The dude was fucking incredible to watch. To even in the fucking watching those old ass, even watching it now, when you look at those videos, when shit look blurry as fuck, he was incredible to fucking watch. Yep. This is just a point that I'm bringing up because people love to argue about shit that doesn't fucking make sense sometimes. So this is me not making sense when I say, let's remove Pippen, although we can't do that. We can't go back in history and just remove him. This is just a conversation. You remove Pippen, Jordan got 0 rings. It is what it is, right?
I'm glad you bring that up.
And you know what's funny, bro? People they're like, man, LeBron always makes the right pass, but it's not the killer mindset, right? He should be taking the game winner. He's got more game winners than men. Like, I think he's got more than Jordan.
He's got more than Jordan.
Yeah, that he took.
That's a Jordan fan.
And then people are like, oh, but he's actually a pass first guy. He loves to, he's afraid and he shies away from the big moment, so he makes the right pass.
People don't know
Let's talk about Steve Kerr. Let's talk about Steve Kerr, right?
B.J. Armstrong.
He only exists.
B.J. Armstrong.
They only exist because Jordan made the right play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. You only
I had
talk
this
about
argument this morning about that because I was just, everybody. I feel like the reason everybody hates LeBron is because he did not, in my personal opinion, he didn't go to the Knicks, 1, and then 2, because he teamed up with Wade and Bosh. Like, it's a different, like you said, it's a different era. And if I want to get technical, Kevin Garnett did it with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. Barkley did it. Karl Malone did it with Gary Payton and Kobe and Shaq. Like,
a whole bunch of people
they do it, but it's because LeBron does it. It's a whole different ballgame.
It's the way it was done on TV. I'm taking my talent to South Beach and blah, 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 blah. Bro, but the NBA has become wrestling. It's like literally entertainment.
And because, like again, so I know you were talking about the whole era situation, but again, it has to attribute for something, bro. Because when Jordan did something or when something happened or a game happened, everything, it was just on the paper. Yep. It was on the paper or maybe on the nightly news in that city, whatever.
Right.
This is this.
Mm-hmm.
This.
Jordan was surviving that.
Bro, there's a reason why he's the first active playing billionaire.
Mm-hmm. Like, he couldn't. Like, Jordan was with all this gambling and all
gambling,
this.
Yep. His dad.
You didn't see none of that. You just heard about it.
You just heard about it. You know,
and LeBron can't do none of that shit. You crazy? LeBron can't do none of that shit.
He's smart. He had a great team around him.
Right? It's now after 20 plus years that you even is within the last couple of years is when you've seen LeBron drinking wine.
And he also
that's not even
like buy a winery.
But it's not that big of a deal. But it just goes to show.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean,
it just goes to show.
What y'all think about last night? Well, was it last night or the night before with fucking Dylan Brooks at the fucking game?
Oh my God.
I thought that was hilarious.
I love Dylan Brooks. I love Dylan Brooks. I love his attitude to the game. I wish he was a Knick, right? I don't want him.
He's the highest paid bum in the league.
I wouldn't say he's a bum, bro, because I feel like
he was nice in Oregon.
I feel like he plays.
He was nice in Oregon.
I feel like Dylan Brooks plays
He plays the role that
He
has
plays
been
the
given
role.
to him.
His role.
He's the villain. He plays the defender. I'm gonna get under your skin.
Yeah.
Now in
yeah.
Phoenix, he's hitting jump shots. Okay, he's
Well, you
hitting
know what?
threes.
He to me, if this was school back in the day that you're playing with your boys, this is the guy that you love to have on the team, but you also argue with him and you're on his team.
Right, right. No, I get it. But
He
the
reminds
whole
me of one of my best friends. He's just like that. He's just like that. He's going
Listen.
the whole entire game. We just bro, shut the fuck up. Just
Yeah, man.
no, I
do
get
your
it,
job.
But you
and
need
shut the
that
fuck up.
sometimes. You need that
You-
sometimes.
I think
But
the
sometimes
NBA,
he turns on the superstar, right? Like the superstar gets activated by this nonsense. So sometimes you got to learn when to put
He
it away.
pokes the bear.
And he doesn't know when to not be the villain. There's
Right,
times.
right. I mean, even
Take advantage of the youth. Take advantage of the weak. Take advantage.
right, like
He's the
just,
greatest of all time, and you don't get to him ever. Stop.
Ever.
I agree.
That shit was
But
hilarious though. My
I
man
think
had the
the
grills, the
NBA
ice, everything.
He had a
I think
sign
the
and everything.
NBA, I think the NBA allowed that. Like they
They knew what they were
purposely
doing.
did that. They
They knew
purposely
what they were
did-
doing.
They purposely did that, bro. And that's that to me that's a show. Come on, like this is
Yeah.
not even basketball anymore, bro. Like that's not even like that shit's not even right. This dude got swept by OKC as well. You sat him in the fucking side that the Lakers were starting the game off, and then allowed him to have maybe somebody. I wouldn't even
That was
be
so funny,
surprised
bro.
if it was fucking Adam Silver that gave him the fucking paper to
pass,
put
yeah.
LeBron on. Come
That's
on,
funny,
bro.
bro.
It's a show, man. It's a show.
But here's
But
the
I
thing,
love it.
right?
I love it.
It's
I
It's
love it. That
only
shit was hilarious.
entertainment.
That shit was hilarious, bro.
Nah,
that shit was
great.
hilarious, bro.
I have the GIF for it too. What's crazy is like everybody talks about OKC 8-0, they swept, but like let's be honest, OKC played a subpar Phoenix team and a
Mhm.
Lakers team without Luka. So like, have
Yeah,
they really done anything that's like, oh wow, like they're just doing what they're
I
supposed
still
to do?
think they would have beat the Lakers.
I mean,
even
the
if they had
same-
Luka.
The same
They
could be
probably
said
would
about
have never
us
swept,
too.
but I still think they would have beat them.
No, yeah, no,
The
people say
same-
that about us, but it's just like
the same could be said about us. You know, we beat Atlanta. Okay, a playing team, whatever. Like not really, whatever.
I mean, they played great
you
second
know,
half. Atlanta, once
you
they
know,
got rid of Trae Young,
once they got
that
rid
was
of Trae
limit.
Young, you know, but then it's like you played a Philly team, which hurt Joel, but like
But they played worse with Joel.
they do. They
Yeah,
did. And I was telling Edwin, so before we got on the call, I'm like, one of my biggest fears was in that matchup. My concern wasn't Joel Embiid. It was the Lambo and the Ferrari with VJ Edgecombe and
VJ
Tyrese Maxey, you know, putting Brunson in a high screen and roll situation and just going downhill
Yeah,
and waiting to see if the wing guy is going to
40
come help
possessions.
to his or if he's going to just go to the basket, dog.
No,
but
the Knicks played
Joel
phenomenal in that
he
series.
slowed down the pace so much. He did two negative things for Philly. He slowed down the pace and he got exposed on those high pick and rolls.
Mhm.
oh, Brunson cooked them.
Man, his mobility is not there.
Is he done? Should he be
I don't-
done?
He
He's
should
got
be, but
3
I don't
more
think
years.
him and
I
Paul
mean, you
George.
walking away,
I don't think he's
from
going
all
to
that
be-
money?
Oh no, of course not. But him and Paul George, they have, and it's funny because this is the topic I was going to bring up earlier. If you're Maxey, do you axe out?
No.
No, I think if you're Maxey, you're now the
Maxey-
face. You're going
Maxey,
to.
you got the keys.
They also just fired the president, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. or fired him,
yeah,
left, or
Daryl
whatever it
Morey.
is.
Yeah,
Bob Myers.
Morey.
So to me, that means that's a changing of the guard. He's out, Embiid is out. Maxey and VJ are the future, and they're gonna go do something.
Do you
That'd be the best-
trade?
to me,
Do
that's
you
the best.
send? Do you
And
send?
I'm taking Paul George too.
That's a lot of money on the table.
though.
But I
Their
could trade
options-
those two. I could trade
Who's going to
those
want
two
that though?
to 2 or 3 teams for a bunch of picks who are in win now situations.
Do
Philly's
you
not in
get-
win now.
Do you send Zion to Philly?
I don't think he. I don't know.
That's
he had
a
a good season last
stupid
year.
athletic team. That's a crazy athletic team.
Do you
Yeah, he
send
was
Zion
healthy
to
for the most
Philly?
part.
Be
Zion will
healthy
be dope in Philly.
Zion
He will be
with
dope
the
in
belly
Philly.
tattoo?
Yeah,
Do you
you know, the
send him
problem
up
is
to
this.
Philly?
If he goes to Philly, you got nothing to get for him. Like the Pelicans aren't in a win now, so they won't take either of those contracts to me. And you can't build around Embiid, who's always hurt.
So what about
Yeah.
Milwaukee for Giannis?
I think
No.
Giannis. I think
They're
Giannis.
not in win now either.
I
If
saw.
honestly,
I saw a
I'm-
thing
I
right
would-
now. I think Giannis go to Golden State.
Embiid to Minnesota.
And beat to Minnesota. Wait, so
You
you
get-
trade Rudy?
Randall.
So you
That's
have
where the-
Joel and Rudy?
That's where the money makes sense. You have Rudy to help with his backup, right? He's the defensive player of the year or second or third. He's always in that running. You got Embiid allowed to play in his 4, but he's an oversized 4, not the 5 because he's not that great at defense because of his mobility issues right now. He gets to take some defensive plays off because he's got Rudy behind him. And you got a bunch of stud athletes where you could just pitch, catch, go.
It's not bad.
If they can make that money make sense, that's a crazy team.
That's not bad.
And now you
It's a
have your
lesser version of
secondary
Cat.
score.
I see where you're going with that. It's like having
And now you have
Cat.
and he's a secondary scorer where Ant is your man. 100%. And that's a long, tall, offensive firepower, defensive firepower team.
So
and Embiid's lackadaisical defense gets hidden in that great defense.
So where you think Giannis is going?
I think he's going to Miami, bro.
I mean,
And
they got the most. They have the most assets all the time, and good
You
assets.
giving up Tyler Hero?
For sure.
You have to.
Tyler Hero's he's involved in that.
You got to give up Hero. Who else you give up, G? You got to give up where?
A whole bunch of
So that's where the Heat gets tied up, right? It's like, am I trading where? Because where to me is the future. He's an all-star in 2 years.
He's a diamond in the rough.
I don't understand why you guys didn't play him down the stretch.
Man, I think the fact that they wanted to run faster, and for some reason, I don't know, they weren't making it. But he was averaging like 4 blocks a game.
Yeah.
So
right?
what do you?
I think that trade package looks like Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, probably 2 or 3 picks, and
some money exception.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yes, but they're probably not going to want that. That's why they want Ware. They want potential. They want future. I also saw something about them sending him to the Cavs for Mobley. It was Giannis for Mobley and 2 picks. That's what I saw the other day on some articles. And that was it. The thing is, Mobley is he's somebody you can build around.
Yeah,
he's who the Cavs built around.
You can.
I just don't know from an offensive standpoint because Bam and Giannis are going to cover a lot of the same space.
Yeah, I guess they played the point forward position, but I think this allows truly for Giannis to shine down low.
I think Golden State would be the best.
And what better developmental system?
Bam out?
For sure. And what better developmental system than to put Giannis in a place where he'll learn how to shoot again? Because people come to the Heat and they become better. That's a fact. And they would put him in a position to go fast where they're moving. Bro, he was a better shooter before they actually started taking control of his shot. And if you look at young Giannis before he got jacked and before he really started becoming this MVP, he could shoot. He had better form now, but he sucks at free throws.
Yeah.
Health is an issue also. You got to stay healthy.
I think the best
but it's hard to stay healthy when you're the only guy.
I think the best fit would be Golden State for Giannis.
But if you go to State, who do you give up?
Jimmy's out.
I saw Jimmy's gone. You got a few draft picks. The other white boy with the curly hair.
Oh, Pods?
Spencer?
Yeah.
You know you haven't even said it.
No, you're talking about.
You haven't even said a name yet. That's how you know he's not going there.
Well,
Buddy with the curly hair, a couple picks, and some guy. They don't work.
No, I don't because I don't know how to say.
You gotta think about who you're getting in return, bro.
You're getting Giannis and 7.
You gotta give up.
But Jimmy off an ACL tear doesn't work.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
Not Jimmy at 36, 37.
Golden State has some picks that they're coming up, which is what helps them get that trade package. But with Jimmy Butler would definitely be included, but coming off of that tear, that's gonna be tough.
Kills him.
What if?
Nah, I don't think he'll destroy the Knicks.
No, I'm not worried about that. I wouldn't do that to myself.
Yeah, I don't need him.
What about? Because you talk about having pieces and assets.
I know you're going.
This and that.
I know you're going.
Dog, Giannis to OKC.
OKC. Mm-hmm.
Nah.
But who you give up, or you got to give up.
They got to give up the house. They got to give up the house.
Got to give up a lot of players for Giannis.
You can.
Hartenstein.
No, they won't even take him.
Milwaukee not taking him.
They have
Williams.
What about?
They'll have to
Williams
include,
is in that.
They'll have to include either Williams or Chet for sure. One of those guys got to go.
They'll give up Williams because they can't afford him in 2 years.
And they might want to have AJ Mitchell in there, even
now because he's cheap.
Or Case and Williams.
But you know what? AJ Mitchell, he's so cheap that he barely makes the money make sense. You still got to get another guy who's got a lot of money.
Get somebody else.
They have a lot of picks though.
So they have a lot of fucking picks. They got a lottery pick this year.
Jalen got an extension, right? So he's good.
He got an extension. Him and Chet. They all both.
See,
got
so
an
his money with probably Caruso.
You might have to give him Caruso. Yeah.
You might have to give up his Jalen Williams and Caruso because of money, a couple picks, and throw in an AJ Mitchell. That all day. I would do that.
AJ or Kaysen Williams.
Yeah,
they have
but
the
I'm
young
just
pieces.
saying, though,
they have
they got the
picks,
young
they got
pieces.
the money.
They got the
They do.
money. They got
Oh,
everything.
but honestly,
damn, that'll be tough.
check this out. Check this out. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? You take a chance. And you trade straight up plus maybe a pick or two. Anthony Davis, send him to Washington.
Giannis in Washington with Trey and Jordan.
Do you involve that number one pick?
And they're about to take the number one pick. You could trade. You could straight up trade
it away too, which is crazy.
I was reading that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but I read reports that Buddy from BCU, he's actually missing stuff and like playing bad at the combine on purpose, so they don't pick him.
Yeah.
So Washington don't pick him?
Yeah, they don't want. But that's like
it's AD.
That's like
young.
That's where you go to die.
Crazy. Like you want to throw that. Like at the end of the day, you're the fucking NBA, bro. Like why would you want to like purposely throw?
Go back to egos, man.
Like come on, bro.
Look at Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey. He doesn't want to play for Utah. And look what happened. He was supposed to be the third pick.
He was supposed to be the third pick.
And they was like, nah, we don't want that. Let's go for VJ.
What do y'all think?
He actually played good in Utah.
Yeah, but that wasn't his destination. And then
that wasn't where he wanted to go. He was pissed.
I get it, but bro, you're a fucking professional athlete.
But Utah,
and you're a lottery pick making at least $10 million. So
Utah's gonna be nice.
Utah's gonna be really up and coming.
But you know what's funny? That what you just said about Ace Bailey reminds me of Shedeur Sanders.
He didn't want to go to Baltimore.
He didn't want to, and he didn't want to go to Cleveland. And he didn't want to go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And where'd he end up?
In Cleveland.
All the way at the bottom in Cleveland.
No. What do you think about? You think? You know who I really want to see, like straight up and down, just ask for a trade? Devin Booker.
Yeah, he deserves it.
I think it's too late, bro. I just think it's too late for him, man.
33.
What is he, 30? He's 33, 34?
33, bro. He still got some years in him.
Right, so where's he going?
He deserves to be somewhere else, bro.
Where's he going?
I saw they were talking about this on
Brooklyn. I'll take him to Brooklyn.
This motherfucker want everybody to go to New York.
Everybody.
Like
55.
Put that
the Knicks are the first team to convert to the NFL roster. 55 spots.
Put that mofo in Brooklyn. Put that mofo in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn ain't going anywhere anytime soon, man.
Nah, you gotta put Devin.
I would trade.
Put Devin in Utah.
Call me crazy. You could probably make the money work with different vet guys, but you could probably trade away 4 guys from Boston and put them as the third option.
Might be second. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown don't want to stay there.
I saw Boston too for Giannis because Jaylen Brown don't want to be in Boston.
But that's crazy.
That's the problem is Jaylen Brown wants to be a one guy and he's not a one.
He's not.
This is what I'm talking about. Emotionally unstable guys who have ego, who just want to be the
ego.
Listen. I agree with you, but he kind of proved that that Boston could win without Tatum, because look at where he had them in the regular season before Tatum came back. They were in third place, and that was all Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
So
and they do that consistently though each year.
To him,
he's also got a great role player.
No. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm trying to say is that in his mind, he thinks, bro, I'm the guy. Look where we at without Tatum. So for him,
he got paid like him too.
Yeah, no, and he worked out that contract himself. No fucking agent, right?
He's actually super smart.
I think
extremely intelligent.
I think Milwaukee trading for Jaylen Brown for Giannis. It's great one. Because he wants
Milwaukee. That's great.
He could go to Milwaukee and do whatever the fuck he wants, score 50 every night and lose.
They got a nice team. They got low key. They have a pretty decent team out there because Kevin Porter Jr. can ball. Ryan Rollins is nice. You know, you just gotta get Porter. Get some pieces.
Yeah. They gotta get some.
You know what's crazy is you just saying Porter reminded me of what a bad decision Houston made by trading away the youth for KD. They were on something. They had it and they got rid of it for KD because they thought he was a saving grace. And man, he's just a toxic player everywhere he goes.
I think KD
he's got more burner accounts than championships.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think KD is done.
I'm so glad he didn't come to the Knicks in
Still,
2019.
still great player, still great player, still an elite scorer. All of that. None of that goes.
Like, he's a
away,
great
but,
player, but it's
but
just
I
he's
think
not going to win
done.
one
He's just
without
not gonna
help.
win. He's not going to win anywhere he goes.
I mean,
But his
the
story is way different than any of the guys we talked about earlier. We're saying, oh, KD. I mean, LeBron without this person, Jordan without this person, Kobe without this person. We didn't even mention KD because he was the person they brought in and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He had to come to a real super team,
to
Which
have
they
and
that
then
didn't
finally
need him.
got one.
Which they didn't need him because they proved that
they won
did.
without him.
They won without him.
He just
So-
wanted to join them.
So I
Get
feel
your 2
like.
rings, man. I ain't mad at him.
So what? So then you think KD right now? I mean, the difference between him and Melo is that he won. He has 2 rings. Melo didn't get to win one, but Melo did get to a point in his career where he tried to, just join certain teams to try to win. You think KD
Man,
is there? You think KD is
If you
there?
put them two next to each other, Melo's a better player and had a better career.
Overall,
K-
hell yeah, Melo's
KD,
my guy.
KD, man, mind you, Melo was he's an elite scorer.
So now you understand my conversation
Elite.
with rings being the reason why
Yeah.
people go to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Career-wise, overall, we can agree Carmelo Anthony was a better player than KD.
No, without
Yeah.
a doubt.
But on paper, people will
The
say
rings, yeah.
KD has
He has
2
2 rings.
rings.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he ain't.
But you know
he
what?
ain't
I
got
also think
overall enough.
when you talk Melo, you also say loyalty matters,
Of course.
and he stuck it through. I mean, him and Angel have been in the same pain for a long time.
and Edwin.
You know
we
what's
stuck
crazy,
through
though?
it, dog. We stuck
I don't
to
know
it.
if people, because everybody's like, oh, Melo should have waited that extra year. He's being greedy for the money. I don't think the Knicks would have got him had he waited the extra year. Like, we had to go. I personally feel we had to gut that team now because I just don't think that the Knicks were going to be able to win that. He would have went somewhere else. I don't think he would have went to the Knicks. His heart wants to be with the Knicks, but just the situation, I felt like we had to gut that team right then and there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally feel that, but
and I think championships is all about timing too, right? And if you look back, I mean, Melo in his prime and the Knicks in their prime at that time when they had Melo, you also ran into the best version of Derrick Rose in the small time that he was available.
That's a fact.
And bro, he dominated the East. I remember vividly. I was in college watching him, and I remember when one of the nastiest dunks I've ever seen. He put it on Dragic's head on a fast break, and bro, he was probably the
boom
first.
shakalaka.
Him and Russell Westbrook were the first of the elite guards who had this stupid athleticism. Jason Richardson hops with Jason Kidd handles like it was, or Steve Nash handles like it was crazy. It was amazing to watch.
I used to argue that Russell Westbrook was better than Rose, and everybody was on D Rose at one point, but I always felt like Russell was special. Like you just
career longevity wise, Russell is because he's been at it still. And still
I just don't think you can compare them.
Doubles, you can't compare them.
Yeah, there's not enough. Yeah, there's not enough in the file to compare the two.
This is the conversations we used to have where it's like, oh, who was better? I was telling Raul last time. Like, I feel like Russ, he deserves his flowers. It's like the disrespect that he gets now is crazy.
Bro, triple double. He's almost a Oscar Robertson, bro.
Yeah,
but people forget about that part, and it's just like they're like, oh, Westbrook and all this other nonsense. And it's like the man carried OKC even after Durant left.
Here's the thing:
what Angel said earlier, bro, is what did you do for me lately?
So it's the way the world is now, unfortunately.
This is one thing I think about the type of player Russ is, emotionally especially. If he's not in a place where he feels like he's being treated the way he wants to, he's not going to be at his best. He's just not.
And with the respect.
Right. And OKC,
that he deserves.
Once he left OKC, bro, it was over, bro.
I mean, bro, and honestly, he played incredible with the Nuggets.
Yeah, he did. He did really good with the Nuggets. He did really good with the Nuggets.
Him and Jokic had great
and chemistry. Even now, Sacramento, he averaged triple double. Like even in Sacramento.
I don't remember. I didn't see one game of his this year. That's what happens when you go to a team that's just not on the map.
Especially when Zach went out.
Zach LaVine was there. DeMar DeRozan was there. Like it's
stacked too. Sacramento stacked also, bro.
You just don't see him.
Yeah.
That's it's sad to see players go out like that. Like I feel like it'd be nice, that retirement tour, have him go back to OKC, but I don't think that's gonna work.
I think he'll retire there, but it's more like send me a contract. We hang up the jersey. We call it a day.
Sign for one day
Well,
type
if
shit.
they
So you
do
retire zero?
Ooh, I think OKC would.
OKC retires.
No, I'm saying with OKC, yeah, you retired the number 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the Sonic, is the Supersonic coming back, or is it going to be like a different franchise?
I was reading it was, but then their histories changed.
Yeah,
But
because now
so-
it's OKC.
This is OKC, yeah.
So that's what I was trying to say. Is it going to go? Are they going to go Supersonics, or is it going to be a different?
Well, I
complete
think they go
different-
Vegas. I think they go Vegas.
Well, Vegas is what's going to be. From what I've heard, is going to happen. You got Tom Brady involved in that, and LeBron also, who's trying to.
I mean,
you
but
go-
LeBron can't be an
you guys
active
remember-
player.
Yeah.
You guys remember years ago when they had the New Orleans Hornets?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, the Charlotte Hornets
The
and the
Charlotte
New Orleans
Hornets.
Pelicans.
Pelicans, yeah.
Mhm.
Once they came out, they swapped it
They
and they
swapped
changed
it.
it, and but the histories changed, right? So like even in video games, you look in 2K, KD, he's wearing a Seattle Supersonics jersey, but he never played for them. But he's
No,
OKC.
KD
No,
did.
KD did. Russ
KD
did.
did.
He played
I'm
Russ.
sorry,
did
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Russ and Harden didn't.
But their
No, Harden
organization's lineage, if you look
It's-
back, their
goes
history
to-
is considered, it's still
Goes to
Sonics.
Seattle.
Yeah.
But if you bring back the Supersonics and you put them in Seattle, that changes. I think they just revert back to where they
It
were.
was,
You call it a day.
But that's
KD
like
and
saying
Jeff
that,
Green, right? Jeff Green also played in
and Jeff
Sonics.
Green. But that's also like saying that Philly got a bunch of championships with the Warriors before they went out.
The Warriors are
Before
now
they
in,
went out
they
west.
go-
Yeah.
They're in where they are now,
The difference is expansion teams.
right?
So
Because there were the originals, and then you got your
Yeah.
expansions. I think that's the difference.
Oh, interesting, man. Interesting.
No, just retire his jersey. Him, KD.
Yeah.
I don't know if Harden gets his jersey retired.
He
I
should.
mean, they retired Nick
definitely get-
Collison's jersey.
They should definitely
That's
retire.
crazy.
should.
Nick Collison,
It's crazy,
they
bro.
drafted Nick Collison's jersey. Everybody on OKC
That
right
was
now.
that was a loyalty one. Nobody else stayed, and he did. So like, let's rock with you, bro.
He was nice.
He
with
did.
Collison.
He did because nobody wanted
What?
his ass. Nobody wanted him but OKC.
That-
So he
that
wrote it out.
If you listen to Kendrick Perkins now, man, that was his prime. That was when he was it.
Who, Nick Collison?
Big Perk.
Oh,
Perk,
oh,
man.
oh,
Big
Big
Perk,
Perk,
Big Perk in
baby, Big
OKC.
Perk.
Look
Woo!
at this sidebar. Juan Soto got hurt.
He
When it
didn't do
rains, it
anything
pours.
again.
Yeah.
Again?
I tell you, oh my goodness. Soto's
When
right
we edit
foot.
this, you got to have tears on you, bro.
Oh, then I got you. Yeah, it's just I'm
Perk,
telling you, the
so
Mets,
hold
man.
on. So
Hurt his foot.
Big Perk said that when he was in OKC was his prime.
Yeah,
Big
which is
Perk,
crazy.
man. That's all he has to talk about, right? Like that's where he played. And mind you, I
He's in
thought
the
he was a
Celtics.
big. He was
in
a big,
Boston, bro. He played better in Boston.
but he was a big piece to them
But he
playing
was a-
against the Heat back in that time, and that was like
yes,
it was then, right? In Boston, he played great,
He played great,
but
in
that was
Boston.
not his prime. That was an older, more physical, less athletic Perk. But where he played, where he was the most physically dominant, where he was the biggest contributor. Remember, you had Ibaka and you had
Ibaka.
Perk.
Perk.
Mhm.
That was nasty
Pablo
down there, bro.
Oh, you know what it
there.
was? I was I
Tabo
know what
Cephalosha too.
I was thinking. The thing is that I had mixed it. I thought Perk was in Boston first, then went to OKC. It was OKC, then Boston. That's
Yeah,
why
he
I-
was
Nah,
one of the young guys, man.
He
But he
won
was
in
still
08.
good in
No, no,
Boston.
Nah,
He
it
was
was
still good in
Boston
Boston.
first, then OKC.
It was Boston. It was the other way.
Because he
It was
won in
Boston
08.
first, then OKC.
Yeah, he won in
Because he won a
08.
ring. He won a
See
ring in
this? Come on,
2008.
you
Garnett.
Cuban ass. So I was right.
Yeah,
he was
he won a
good in
ring in
Boston,
08.
bro.
Then he was in the finals with OKC
He was in the
Yeah.
finals, yeah.
when they
When
played
they
against
the
the Heat.
Lakers.
So it was.
When did he get drafted?
Boston took OK. Then he went to
think-
OK.
Oh,
He was like 05, 06,
yeah, he's with
something like that.
from Texas.
Yeah, but he
Bro,
came.
I
he
knew it.
came,
Got
he
you
came
right
right
now.
out of high school.
No
Yeah.
more basketball than you, motherfucker.
Yeah, he came right out of high school.
He went to Boston, dog.
He went to
Why
Boston
do I feel-
first.
I don't know why. I feel like that team was just old. I thought he was old on that team, bro.
No,
He just
bro.
looked old.
He
one
was
of them
there.
old
He
looking.
was there
He one
with
of them
Ray
young,
Allen.
old
He was
looking
there with
niggas. B.
KG.
14
He was
years
there
in the
with Paul
league.
Pierce. Like their last years there, he was there, bro. Rondo was there.
And you know what's crazy is
Yeah.
he doesn't really get any flowers, but he
Big
was an
baby.
intricate piece into that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, bro. That's why
He
I
was
said
important.
in Boston he
He was
was
important.
great. But when
Yeah.
you said what you said, it confused
You're right,
me. That's
you're
why I
right.
said
No,
when
you're
I
right, you're
was
right,
in
you're right,
Boston,
you're
he
right.
was great, bro. So when he talks about OKC, it's like, bro, you had a great career in Boston. Like,
Oh
what do
shit,
you
he was
mean?
drafted
It's
in
not just-
04,
It's
03,
not
04.
just it's not just
04, right? Yeah.
OKC.
Oh, wow.
You played
That was
great.
the year after D-Wade and all them.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Hey. Yeah, Boston for a couple of years. Then he went to OKC in 2010. After that, he went to Cleveland, and then the Pelicans, back to Cleveland again.
Back to
And
Cleveland.
that was it.
Yeah, bro. Perk was
Damn.
nice in Boston, bro. He was a big role in Boston, bro.
Yeah, that was him, Garnett, Rondo,
And in
Pierce.
OKC, he was also a big role, but I feel like he played a better career in Boston. I feel like he had a better
for
career
sure.
in Boston.
For sure.
Yeah, I got a funny question, or not a funny question. I'm just a curious question. Before I know we're all done now. What is your top throwback team that you rocked with? You like, damn, this was a squad, and you could put that team up against your all-time great teams that you enjoy. I mean, and you could call it skill, you could call it fun to watch, you could call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
Man, that mixtape team was special.
That mixtape team was tough.
Was special. That 2013.
One of my favorite teams, to be honest with you, one of my favorite teams, bro. Big Shot Billups, Rip,
Detroit,
Tayshaun, Rashid.
Detroit. I was gonna say Detroit.
I was gonna say Detroit. As a Heat fan, I hated that team, but they were.
And they
as a New York, I hated that team.
I was gonna say
because
they dominated the East for a long time.
Oh my God! But that team
they stopped the 4-peat.
The Lakers.
That team was cold. Bro.
I was gonna say Detroit. That same exact team: Tayshaun, Chauncey, Rashid, Ben, Rip, and the other team I was gonna say was the Lakers: Shaq, Kobe, Rick Fox, Robert Horry. That team that won the 3-peat. That was my team there. But
wait, do you count the Olympics?
Pablo Prigioni.
Oh, imagine,
Yes, sir. 21 Shump Street.
Matter of fact, man, now we're going Baron Davis, Eddie Curry, Alex Speed.
Yeah. I struggled through those times. Yeah. Langston Galloway.
We're going young Luke Cornett. We're going
you count Olympic team?
Frank Ntilikina.
I mean, that Redeem team is crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That
was unfair.
The Redeem team, 2012?
Oh,
yeah, I was dumb.
Kobe, LeBron, D-Wade, Melo.
You know the story. Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously they shared it, but you know, Kobe Bryant was sent to that team. He was set. No, but Kobe Bryant was. Kobe Bryant was the last person to be on the Redeem team.
Yeah,
he was the last player chosen, and Coach K brought him in for the younger guys. They weren't thinking about getting Kobe as like, yo, he's got to be here number one, like the first guy we're picking. Nah, Kobe was the last player picked because they wanted to use him to teach these guys about, work ethic and, toughness or whatever. And when I remember watching the Netflix show, and it's one of the most pivotal moments in that fucking Netflix thing. It's not about him working out and these dudes coming from the club, bro. When he fucking went through Paul Gasol, bro.
He let everybody know.
And he called it. He told all of them, like, yo, when we play Spain, I'm going to fucking go right through Paul Gasol's chest. Yep. And that's his kid's godfather, bro.
Yeah, I love that.
And here's what's crazy. When you watch the documentary, this motherfucker went to visit him the day before they played. Like, went to see him, hung out and everything.
That's some real Jordan shit.
Bro,
that's called leadership.
That's worse than Jordan, dog.
Yeah.
That's worse in the eyes of people than Jordan. What Jordan did. Bro, he went, Pau Gasol hung with him, shot the ball a little bit, and Pau Gasol knew what he was doing. He knew what Kobe was doing. He's been playing with him. He knew what he was doing. But he said he didn't expect to get hit like that. But he respected it because he knew what he was trying to teach the younger guys on the Dream Team. And that's how they respected Kobe, bro. That's how they saw the loyalty. And they played. Yep. Look how they played after that. Look how they played, bro.
Yeah, it was war.
Wasn't this when he did this too? That was the same year, right?
Yeah.
That was a great match.
Crazy, bro.
There's two teams that I loved, and I don't remember. I can't even tell you the year. I gotta say this is like 2008 to 2010 Magic. Right, you got Dwight Howard, Rashard Lewis, Michael Pietrus, Turkoglu, bro, that was nasty, right? And then you got go back in the day, you got and then you got Baron Davis, Jason Richardson, Was
Dante
it
Warriors
Ellis.
team.
Dante
the
Ellis.
Adrians?
Dante
Monte
Ellis.
Ellis, bro.
You had
Dante Ellis.
Jack.
Well, he banged
You
it on
had
Yeah.
Jack on
Kirilenko.
there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kirilenko,
like
bro.
that.
Oh,
AK-47,
Kirilenko,
man.
AK-44. AK-44 was nasty, bro.
It might be
AK-44,
40. It might be
AK-45.
47. It might be 47. but it's all
47,
Might
good.
be
47, sorry.
Probably
47,
47.
my bad.
Well, who's
AK-47. I got a
judging?
little
That's
tidbit.
That Golden State team
That's
was
the new
crazy.
model, man. That's the new model.
AK-47,
That
bro.
dunk on Utah was crazy.
Tough.
Like
Tough.
that was a good
Those
time.
are the good days, man. They don't do
That
it
was-
anymore.
Didn't he put that behind? He put it behind his back and dunked it, right? That's what he did.
No.
Nah, he cocked
That
back.
was
Nah, that's
Eddie
different.
Jones.
That's different.
That was Eddie Jones style. Shoulder lean first and body and yeah,
It was vicious.
mean. With the faja under.
With the
Yep.
faja.
Yeah, look it up. He
Monte
had,
Ellis
he
was
had,
on that team
Always.
too.
he had the
I
blue
mentioned him.
faja on.
I mentioned him.
He did. Oh,
Monte Ellis, yeah.
damn.
Monte
Word.
Ellis was good, man. I don't know what happened to that dude. Just like Brandon Roy was another
Shit,
one.
and the
that
next
was
year,
great.
Steph Curry got on that team. That's crazy.
Brandon Roy, man.
Oof.
What could have been?
And talk You talk about him. We talk about D Rose, and you could even say like the
Greg
second
Oden.
half of D
Greg
Wade's
Oden.
career.
Greg Oden.
No. I'm talking about guys who could have had
God,
even
that could
like
have had that.
Brandon Roy, Hall of Famer would have been. I think
For sure.
D Rose in his body of work, you could still already call him a Hall of Famer because to me he elevated the game
As a guard,
Right?
yes.
as a guard, as an athletic guard,
As
as
an
a two
athletic
that was
guard.
playing the one, all of that. D Wade, everything that he did, and he had shit knees for a good part of his career.
For a good
Which is
and
why
got
he
cut short.
retired. Which is why he's retired the at the age he did.
Speaking
Bosh.
of knees, did you see Jabari Parker's knee?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like the amount of surgeries, and it's crazy because that another person who what could have been that will never.
He's the one that played him, but then he played overseas. And he played overseas.
He's overseas.
Yeah, but they showed a picture of his knee, the amount of surgeries he's gotten, bro. It's that shit.
Man, he didn't.
It was
he
like a
didn't have,
still shot of him driving to the
He didn't have
basket. and
the
that
career that people expected for him to have
His
after,
knees,
after
bro.
college. Man.
His
knees, bro.
injuries,
The
man.
knees.
How many years he played in Milwaukee?
Not that many.
Like 2.
You know what's
3, if
crazy,
that.
bro? Is I remember when I was playing and I got my contract, and I remember somebody was like, and I said, like, I'm done. They're like, why are you done? I said, first, I had a good amount of reasons, right? Like, first is money is ass. 2, I had some excitement about the opportunity in my hands in my business. But 3, I'm like, bro, I'm 24, my knees feel 44. So there's no way I'm going to make it any sort of way to make any sort of money if my knees aren't going to last that long. Like, to be 24, I needed ice baths and massages and this and that. I'm like, bro, this should be the time where I barely stretch and I'm good to go. And bro, it's crazy what the body will do, and
Well, that
the
was just-
pressure
I-
makes a lot of these guys keep going because of the money. It
feel
just
like-
makes sense.
I
for a
feel
fact.
like certain people can understand. I'm gonna get a little deep on y'all right now. All right,
But you
I
hit me
feel
with
like
with the love radio.
I
voice
feel like
too, huh?
people, I feel like people ignore when their body is talking to them.
Oh, for a
Right.
fact.
Like for
Pride,
example, you
ego.
listened. You may have not. You might have had. You chose your business because you felt your knees were, not gonna. It felt 44 when you were 24, but that was your body already telling you, like, bro, this is not it for us. We got to do something else. Where you have
Yeah.
others that will ignore it, force themselves, push themselves, and then fucking have worse after that, right? But I feel like the body in general shows people, tells people, nudges people when it's time for you to move on, when you're not supposed to be somewhere, when you're doing too much, right? I feel like the body tells you that at some point, just like, like Angel has been saying, the majority of the podcast, the ego just drives people to fucking not listen. And
Dog,
like,
my
I've
body
seen
talks
that-
to me all the time.
it does, but it's some serious shit. For
It's
example,
real shit.
for example, I remember when I used to go to events sometimes and I have a headache. And for me, it was just like, yo, it's just a headache. But what if my body was telling me, bro, just walk away for a little while and come back? Or you're not
Mhm.
supposed to be. You're not meant to be there. See, people ignore those things. Your knee, your stomach. Like, is your body really telling you, bro, you don't belong here at
Some
this
shit happens.
moment or something? But it happens,
Yeah.
And a lot of people ignore that. So for you, George, like, you actually listen to your body. You did, like, and you also had the opportunity that you knew that was going to get you more than going this other route. But just think about how many people in your position ignored that.
You know what, bro? I'm so grateful. I'm right. Like again, we're going deep, right? You said I'm so grateful because now I have my daughter. She's 5 months, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, bro. Thank you. And it's funny because people are like, man, how does it feel to be there every day? My mother-in-law is always like, man, like I'm just so happy for you. It's so weird that you're home every day because that's not normal. And when you look at that, it isn't normal. It isn't. Kids are raised by their mothers, by their nannies, by their grandparents, but fathers typically are out doing the deal. And so to have the opportunity that I have where our business allows me to be home and see the moments and not miss anything, I'm grateful because, bro, it was that decision. And again, if everything happens for a reason, my knees telling me that I wasn't going to have longevity, my mind listening and saying, you know what, I'm going to bet on me instead of I'm going to change lanes completely. My mind, my family, everything was invested into this career. And I changed lanes on faith. And it led me to now I'll have the ability to be a present father. Decision I didn't know then that would pay off the way it does now. So you definitely got to listen to certain things that happen in your life.
I agree 100%.
That's a fact.
Just for the record, he played 4 years in Milwaukee. Yeah, Jabari Parker.
Jabari, okay.
Yeah.
Jabari
That's the thing. Is like he's doing it. He needs to do it. And it's just like that. When I saw that picture of his knee, I was like, that's just disgusting. Like
It's
at
over.
a certain point, you just got to give up and say, like, hey, you know what?
He's not listening, bro. So
Yeah,
I mean, bro,
else.
but you could say the same about so many injuries because there have been some grotesque and gruesome injuries, and people come back, bro. Paul George is one of them.
Yeah, but listen,
Westbrook's another one. Yeah,
that's not. I mean, how can I explain this? Like, there's injuries that happen that just happen, and it's because you're playing the game, obviously. But then there's things that happen to you where you're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
you're just like at home sitting down. You get up, your fucking back starts to hurt, or your knee starts to like you getting ready. For example, let's say me, I'm gonna get up right now to go play ball with these young kids. My knee starts to hurt. It's my body telling me, bro, you don't need to go play with these young kids. Fuck that.
I used to laugh at people with ice
It's just an
packs.
example. It's just an example.
It's the
But
truth.
just an example. See what has happened to Paul George, what has happened to Tyrese, what's happened to Tatum. Those are just unfortunate issues that has happened because they play the game that they love. It's not
at a
necessarily
high level.
It's not necessarily that their body's telling them you're done, right?
Yeah.
See, now they come back and it happens again. You got to start to think, okay, like what the fuck? You get what I'm saying?
To me, that's it. Exactly what you're saying is why Embiid should retire.
Yes, for sure. I agree. His body is telling him, bro, it's over.
Oh, his body's been telling him.
It's
been
over.
telling him that.
You made it.
The
you
hip,
made your
the
money.
ankle,
you
the
made
legs,
it. You
everything.
made it. You made your money, bro.
Yeah, the Bell palsy that one time with the eye was blinking wild.
Oh yeah, check out that. What can happen? And I don't wish that on him or anybody. Is bro, something worse can happen to you.
Yeah. Well, look at Tyrese Halliburton. He has that whole disease has made him fatter.
Yeah, but like again, his thing was unfortunate, playing at a high level and stuff like that. He's most likely meant to come back and get back in shape and do what he got to do. But if it happens again, then you got to start thinking like, bro, like
you got to reevaluate.
If my body is talking to me, bro, I got to stop this. Like it is what it is.
But you know, this goes back to what we said before, that there's not enough teaching and mentorship on financial literacy to set guys up for after NBA activities.
Right.
Like with the money that you did earn in the league, what did you do with it to be ready? I know so many guys that I was playing with back in the day that they're still out there chasing the European game and the European dream for this next contract. Then when it's done, you don't have a next one, so you come home, you hang out for a few months, there's a next one, you
broke
go
again, then you got to go.
But it's just like it's the spend all, have none, do it again mentality. You end up 40 with no family, no foundation, no home, no future, no nothing, and now you start over midlife like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, I mean,
lost 40.
Lost, yeah, 40 with no guidance, no setup. Like, there's no reason why you should be 30 and 40, 30, 35, 40.
But that goes
no IRAs, no bank accounts, no savings, no this, no that. Like, come on.
That goes back to what we spoke about, right? Like, for example, LeBron James might have not gotten taught on financial literacy, but he has had great people around him that have taught him, right? Starting with his mom, right? His wife and his friends, his circle. Same goes for Tatum. Tatum might have not know all these things, but his mom takes care of everything. His mom is the one that makes sure, right? His mom is making sure he ain't spending he don't touch his NBA money. All he touches is endorsements. You get what I'm saying? Like when you don't have someone, then you look at Ja. You get what I'm saying? Like not trying. I mean, I don't know him personally, but from what we see, we can assume we could assume that
for sure
he has nobody telling him what to do with his money, right? Because he has his father who makes money from his son and is fucking spending it like he's him. You get what I'm saying?
That's a great educated guess. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, we're assuming at
100%.
the end of the day because we don't know them personally, right? It's
No,
what
but
we
some things
see.
are obvious, bro. Some
Right,
things
right.
are very obvious.
It's what we see. Then you have guys like Alex Rodriguez, right, who gets into business, and this is getting into business after retiring, right? Because he was another one who had people on his corner who actually showed them the ropes of being financially good in the moment to then be great when you retire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like just the system of how everything is in general, it's almost like you're being like forced to not know these things for the future, right? Especially the people that have a lot of money. I mean, I'm in a business where I've made $500,000, and I never learned how to do anything with that money.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying, right? And I can't blame no one teaching because we also didn't do our due diligence to look for it as well.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? But nobody taught us that. We weren't going to learn it in school. We didn't learn it in the business that we were in either because it's not spoken about, period. So in general, George, it's not being taught.
Yeah.
It's not being taught.
Which
Because
is a scary thing.
even in the business that we're still in, right? It's not being taught.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
And you know, this is, I don't know about you guys, but and this is probably gonna spark some haters in the comments with the youth, right? But like, to me, I walk around and I see these young kids. I'm like, what is wrong with the world today, right? Like these kids are the problem. Like these, from the mushroom haircuts that everybody got, that's it seems like a disease, to literally like they all have the same body type, the same frame, the same interest, the same. It's just weird. And I see these guys. I'm like, yo, these guys would have gotten bullied every single day. They would have never gotten a minute on the
Back
courts
in
that
the
I grew
day.
up in.
Back in the
Nothing.
day.
Fact.
Absolutely not. They'd be considered toddlers. And so I see these guys, and then you're giving them money in college, millions of dollars through the NIL, and expect them to know what to do. Bro, there's no reason why a college freshman should be driving a Lamborghini, have multiple Lamborghinis, and what, you didn't tell him what to do with it? And then you expect him not to have an ego through college, not to get into trouble
That
through
shit
college,
built more.
to then go to the NBA
Set
and
him
that
up
just
for failure.
amplifies. Bro, they are creating monsters. And mind you,
That's a fact.
I played college ball. I would have liked the money back when I played.
Yeah.
But you are setting up people for failure long term
Well,
if
that's
you
the
don't set them up
system.
with the right plan. Yeah.
But that's the
That's the
system.
system.
That's
Of
just
course.
the system, period, bro. Even when you do have the money, even when you are making investments to try to have that money work for you, right? Even when you do that within, you read the fine prints and you understand the fine prints, you're still like, what the fuck? Like this is just the system that you're
You
in.
know how many guys are going to get this NIL money, and then so many are going to go to jail for like tax evasion?
That's a fact.
There's
How
going to be
many
so
people- I
many.
mean, how-
Oh shit! I
Bro,
forgot
you
to pay
even
Uncle
got-
Sam.
Fucking
Done.
Derek Jeter did time for fucking tax evasion. Derek fucking Jeter, right? You got fucking Blade, the Daywalker,
then
fucking
guess
Wesley
what?
Snipes, who did fucking like 8 years in prison.
Yeah. Yep.
Angel, you know what I'm talking about? They like fucking 8 years in prison for tax. Daywalker, bro. Blade. That's what-
Not my man Nino. Not Nino. Not
So,
Nino
you know,
Brown.
like yo, even you, Angel, you're in a position where you guys, could learn more about financial stability and stuff like that
Mhm.
because of the amount of money that you make. You gotta also read between the lines and things that you invest in. Like
Yeah.
although I'm here in the Dominican Republic, I've learned a lot, like a lot when it comes to investing and having financial advisors and all that. Because bro,
Yeah.
there's things in the fine print we don't pay attention to, and we just
Yeah.
sign,
Yeah.
and it's all the system trying to get you, bro.
Bro, and
I've
we've heard
met-
for years, the rich stay rich. The
they're
rich
rich,
get
boy.
richer,
It's
right? The
for
poor get
reason.
poorer.
I've met people who have manipulated the system, right? And what we don't know, majority of people don't know, is that you can manipulate the system. You can come up on top on the system. The thing is that we, as a collective, we're afraid of the system. We're afraid of standing up. That's right for us, right? And I know this topic is changing. It's supposed to be about sports, but shit happens, right? I have read that the 13 amendments, whatever they're called, for
the laws of power.
the laws of power, whatever. You know, those laws, those things were built for the government to be in check, not for us. And they switched it.
Switched it around, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So the system has always been built to keep us trapped, right? Which is why you don't see in schools learning about making your own money and this and
Yeah,
that.
of
We're being
course.
exposed to that now. We weren't exposed
Yeah,
to
you-
that before. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's ways to manipulate and get around those things. There's always a way out.
There's always a
Bro,
way.
look at Jeff Bezos,
Fucking
Elon Musk. That amount of money, zero taxes.
zero taxes, bro.
You know what they're doing.
There's
Zero
ways around it,
taxes,
bro. There's
bro.
ways
There's
around it,
always
man. So
ways.
hopefully they teach the youth, because if not, we're in for a shitstorm in the next few years of all these guys just, unfortunately, what it would, for every person who needed the NIL to get their family out of a bad situation, right? That's everybody saying like, oh man, I could have gotten my family out the hood if I would have had this money earlier, and I
Mhm.
can't wait for the pros, and that's why I took the deals from the boosters and this and that. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
cool. But for every story that you have that, you got
gonna have
20 stories
10
of people
more,
making
20
stupid
more.
decisions,
With the ones
and you
getting
got a lot. And bro, you're just creating a bunch of divas in 20 years.
that
Yep.
NIL,
Imagine.
that NIL includes athletes also making money off of video games, right?
That's why it exists.
That's-
yeah,
that's
it's,
why,
It's
yeah.
why.
it's anything of their image and likeness,
Right,
Yeah.
from their from ticket sales to jerseys, to video game sales,
everything.
to all
'Cause
posters,
I felt-
pictures, this and that.
I've always that's never made sense to me. Like these NCAA players who don't get no money, but they're on video games.
Yeah, but back in the day, if you remember, 2K Mad or 2K NCAA, whatever, there was no
Mhm.
names on the jerseys.
It was just
Numbers.
plain.
you-
There's
you
numbers.
You got
kinda
numbers
still
and
knew,
you got
but you-
Michigan.
But
That's
you
it.
kind of still knew who they were though, because
Of course.
you
Of
watched
course.
it
Yeah,
on
through the
TV.
likeness.
But that's how they got away with it. Now, then they started getting up front, like, all right, cool, your name, your likeness, your number, this and that, down to your face, and you know how 4K and all this stuff works, and it, bro, like, it's identical.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
identical.
You know who it is.
Yo, even me, I got a 2K player from shit. I scan my face; it looked just like me.
There you go.
You
And
should
bro, like,
get
I
an
got a
NIL
buddy.
deal.
I play for the
I
Lakers.
got this
bro.
guy. I remember I played with this guy, and he's French. I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but it's his name is Guy Dubai or Dubuis. He's French. And it's on Instagram, he's like the real frequent flyer, one of the best dunkers in the world.
Oh, I know who he is.
Nasty. But I remember he's one of the dunkers in 2K. And they put on that little suit with the little balls to capture his movement, and they put him in it.
Mhm.
Half the nasty dunks that you've used in 2K is for him.
Oh
That's
wow,
crazy.
you getting paid for that? Like
Of
good
course.
money? Like
Yeah.
good money?
But again, you'll never see his name on, because they're not using his likeness. They're not using his image. They're using his talent, and they paid him probably. I don't know. Again, I have no idea. So disclaimer, I don't know any of that logistical stuff and how much he made. But they're paying him for what he can do in a black suit,
I
not for
would've
his face,
fucking-
because they
I
don't want to
would've
see
been
who it
like-
is.
I would have been like, yo, show my face, all that, and I want more.
Crazy.
You never know. And nowadays they put in these little ballers and hoopers and this and that, and street people to make it fun and interesting on video games. So you never know, but that's how it works, bro. Image and likeness, it's a powerful thing, and everybody's got a voice, and everybody's got a face, and everybody's got something that's worth something.
Yeah.
Fact.
All right,
But-
man.
Fellas, I appreciate this, man. This was a good talk.
This was dope, man.
You
This
know,
was dope.
this is when Raul presented the idea, I always felt like this was perfect. 'Cause when he mentioned it to me, I was like, yo, ironically, I was literally thinking the same thing. Because I felt like I told him, I felt like I set him up with the whole Klay Thompson thing, because everybody was going after him. But I was like, damn, look how much that one little clip generated all these responses. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they were attacking him. He held his ground, but it's just like, I was
I'm
like, damn,
different.
shit.
I'm
Like,
different, baby.
it, it's just like, yo, imagine if we can get more topics and more people. So it's like, it's ironic. You hit me up like, yo, we should do this. And, you know, I feel like the four of us just flew perfectly. Everything just, you know, flowing like water. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time out. I know you guys are busy as well. So thank you for taking the time out. But yeah, let's definitely do this again.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Whatever
cool.
works for you guys, it'll work for me.
All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good,
So let's
fellas.
do it. We'll,
Appreciate y'all, man.
We'll tap
Oh,
in that
likewise.
chat, man.
Fellas, thank you
Appreciate
so
y'all,
much.
man.
Appreciate y'all.
Have a good one.